from 7 to 10. It's time for Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. The first hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you. Landon Schmidt producing. We're Sports Time. We're with you for the next 3 hours. A lot to get into this afternoon as we've got a busy show. We got to talk about the Grizzlies. They were in action last night against Denver. It was another loss, but it was a fun matchup against the Denver Nuggets. The Tigers, they're in action tonight on the road against North Texas. We'll talk a lot about that game. We'll make our picks during Tiger Bankroll. We'll talk the NBA as it's starting to wrap up for the All-Star break. College basketball, as there were some interesting games last night around the country in the SEC as well. So plenty to discuss over the next 3 hours. But Brett, how are you this afternoon?
Brian, I'm doing well, and I think I inspired Nate Oates last night.
Okay.
They got hot.
Yeah, no, they
came out cold.
That's right.
Bama only had 11 points through the first 11 minutes to play. At the 9-minute mark to play in the first half, they had scored 11 points. They go on and score 93.
Yeah.
Could not miss in the second half. And how they would swing the ball on the perimeter behind the three-point line was very impressive.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's questioning Alabama offensively. It's on the defensive end. They've got the offensive side of the ball down. Like you said, 61 points in that second half, just really, really impressive.
32-30 at halftime.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, it was a 2-point game, and I watched a lot of that game last night, and yeah, watching early, I was like, nothing would be better than Alabama to have all of this stuff with Charles Bediako. He gets ineligible, and then their first game out after that ruling, they're on the road against an Ole Miss team that struggled this year, and they go out and lose. And so that was what I was rooting for. I mean,
had that feeling.
I wanted
a lot
to
of the first
happen.
half.
Sure, and
none of the second half.
No, it was a completely different game in the second half. Alabama runs away with that one, but some really interesting results last night in the SEC. Florida, a massive win on the road against Georgia. Tennessee, a big win over Mississippi State on the road, and then Missouri also on the road. All road teams in the SEC winning last night. Missouri with the upset over Texas A&M on the road. So a fun, interesting night around the SEC.
And Mississippi State and Ole Miss both badly need to see each other on Saturday.
Yeah, no, that's going to be a good game for somebody. One of those two teams, both of them need a win. One of them will get it.
Could be the end of the road for winning.
Yeah, no,
regular season.
It really could be, and so that will be a big one for both of them to try to get a win. You look at just both those teams, both 3-8 in the conference right now. They really need some good fortune, and one of those teams will get a little bit of it over the weekend, so that will certainly be fun. But an interesting night, and now we'll see, like you said, some interesting matchups again over the weekend. Of you got top 25 matchups like Kentucky and Florida, but then you've got some of those other interesting games like Mississippi State, Ole Miss, really throughout the conference on Saturday. We're getting to that point with the SEC, not as good as it was last year, but now getting later in the season of kind of who separates themselves, who are those teams that feel like they could make that jump, take it to another level, make a deep run in the conference tournament, then turn around and maybe go on a deep run in the NCAA tournament.
And in the NCAA tournament, there's going to be somebody Bama's going to run into, let's say in that 4 versus 13 opening round game that plays pretty methodically, very patient, that gets to Bama.
Yeah.
And Bama has to run a half-court set, and they can't get in that free-flowing game.
Yeah.
They got to play a little defense. They got to have a plan B.
That's right, and we'll see if they can do that. And I think they would more rely on just their athleticism in a matchup like that. Early in the tournament, would that be enough?
The opponents in later rounds will be more suited for their style of play.
Oh yeah, but I'm
game.
I'm saying like in that the one that you just laid out of like a 4-13, I think they would be able to be okay in that type of matchup just by out athleting that.
What
other
if that
team.
13 was Go Bows? What if that 13 seed was Hawaii, Landon? It could be.
It very well could be. I believe they're predicted to be up there.
They're out there in that 12, 13, 14.
I think they're leading
a lot
the
of
Big West
mocks.
right now.
They are.
Cover your ears, Landon.
No.
I feel pretty good about Alabama's chances against Hawaii.
Yeah.
No offense, Landon. Nothing
mid-major
personally.
versus Alabama.
Hey, I love
Let
it.
the record show, I think, go to Winsipedia and check this. I think the last time Hawaii and Alabama played in football, Hawaii won.
Is that right? Wow.
I think
you're right too.
Interesting.
I'm gonna double check that.
Yeah. You have to check
Go to
that.
Wikipedia.
Yeah, no, I think it'd be a different story on the hardwood. I don't love this Hawaii team as much as I like their team last year, which is weird because they're better this year than they were last year. But I like that team last year.
it was a good number of Memphis, Alabama fans there last night.
Really? Well, that's good. I guess.
It was. I mean, they didn't make a ruckus, but
Sure.
I saw and knew plenty.
Yeah, well, that's good. Yeah, I mean, it's certainly easy for them. I know, we have a lot of Alabama fans in this area, and so
We sure do.
That's
I think we forget how, and not just sidewalk fans. I mean, Alabama alums in Shelby County.
yeah, and so that definitely makes it easy for them to just drive down a little bit and see their team play.
So of their 3 meetings, Alabama won the most recent one in 2006, home opener, 25-17, and then in 2003,
Out there.
Hawaii won it out there, 37-29.
Okay.
All right. How about
Mike
that?
Shula's
Good
last
Bucks.
year, 06.
I believe so, yeah.
They hired somebody after Mike Shula at Alabama. I think he was successful.
I think he was okay.
It's not coming to me, his name.
No, I don't know. I think he was
Really
okay.
good.
I think he was all right. But
Kind of struggled in 07 and then
yeah.
really got everything right.
I think he was.
And created a lot of Memphis alums by people going to school there.
That's right. Yeah, no, I think
They still owe Nick Saban $100 million thank you check.
Yes, they do. They absolutely do. I know we're going to talk more college basketball later, and we're going to get to the Grizzlies more later, but the Grizzlies, it was a loss last night, 122-116. A really fun game on the road in Denver. Had the ball with an opportunity to tie it late in that fourth quarter. Obviously, couldn't get it done, ended up fouling and made that 122-116 loss. But a fun game, and I think if you're in the tank mode, that's exactly how you wanted that game to play out. You play well, it's a fun game, you're into it the whole time, and then in the last couple of minutes, you let off the rope and you drop the rope, and then the Nuggets win.
Real-time fandom, how were you cheering?
I
Go team, go, win?
no, I mean I
Lose team?
I
Don't
didn't really
go?
care one way. I mean, here's the thing. The Grizzlies aren't going to lose every single game the rest of the season. Like, they're going to win some games, and yeah, Brett, they're going to win some games.
Okay.
They're not going to win many. They're not going to go 0 for the rest of the season.
It would be best.
It would be best, but I don't think that's going to happen. And so, I mean, wins are going to happen. Obviously, you want losses for the reason of the ping pong balls and the draft. So, I mean, I've gotten to a point where I don't really care what happens. I mean, if they win a game, cool. If they lose a game, cool. It does not affect me one way or the other.
Could have the same feeling a year from now.
It could. I mean, we talked about it yesterday when talking about Detroit and kind of looking at the way that it's gone for them in this rebuild, and now it certainly is paying off. But there were some terrible years there, and I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, you look at this roster, who's back, who's playing next year. What does this roster look like? It could be a really rough year next season.
And when you have this many teams tanking, there's almost as many teams tanking than trying to make the playoffs.
Yeah, no, it's it's going to be it's already epidemic.
Everybody's future plan can't end in a championship because there's only one championship.
That's right.
There's one Larry O'Brien trophy.
Yeah, and so a lot of teams making that decision of, hey, it might be in our best interest to go the other way. And so, yeah, I mean, I know we've talked about a lot of kind of where the Grizzlies are positioned and, where will they be positioned at the end of the year, because you look at just so many teams way behind them. You look in the Western Conference, Sacramento way down there with only 12 wins on the season.
There's no catching them.
No, New Orleans 15-41, even Utah and Dallas.
All right, that's 3. That's 4.
That's right. And then you go over in the
East, there's at least 3.
Exactly. Washington 14-39, Indiana 15-40, Brooklyn 15-38.
That's 7. You're not out losing.
No, you're not. And so it's those teams are only gonna lose more.
Might catch Dallas.
Yeah, you could maybe catch Dallas. I mean, curious to see how it plays out the rest of the way for them. Obviously, Cooper Flagg not going to be participating in the Rising Stars games or anything over the weekend with the All-Star game. I don't think that's anything too serious. I think that's just, hey, it's All-Star weekend. Who cares? But I think they're going to have to make decisions, and it might be let's try not to win many, because they right now just don't have many pieces around Cooper Flagg, and obviously I think they have their pick this year. So if you could pair Cooper Flagg up with another top 7, top 10 pick, that would certainly help that to kind of boost that rebuild down in Dallas.
I know DeMichael Cole. I don't know that he wrote about it. I know he tweeted along these lines. One thing that will help the rebuild would be switching to the East.
No, it definitely would. Yeah, I mean that would make things easier a little bit. I mean, you still look at some of those teams in there and kind of what they're doing. It wouldn't be just, hey, go to the East and you're top 3. But yeah, I mean, when you look at the Western Conference and look at that top 5 and then look at those teams behind them and even some of the teams behind Memphis of kind of what the trajectory is and what the goal is, yeah, the West is going to be really, really tough, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon with some of these young, really talented pieces at other. I mean, you look at the 2 teams behind Memphis, Dallas with Cooper Flagg, they're only going to improve. You have to assume Utah with what they added at the trade deadline and kind of where they want to be in the next couple of years. It sounds like they're ready to move on from these rebuilds and these tankings. So it's going to be tough in the West no matter where it is. So yeah, you'd love to be that team that goes over to the Eastern Conference.
Now Jaren Jackson shut down.
That's right. Yeah, Jaren Jackson going to get surgery and going to miss the rest of the year. So, it kind of goes from the no
Certainly
playing.
Not PCL, ACL surgery.
No, definitely not. It seems like it's a very minor deal, PVNS.
If they were a 2 seed in the West, you think he'd be shut down?
I haven't done a lot of research, and certainly I am not a doctor, but based on what I've seen, I think he could have played the rest of the season if they were in contention.
Can you pronounce the injury? I cannot.
I just know it's labeled as PVNS growth. That's all I got. And so that's
PV and the N were the hard part.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to try to. I see everybody tweeting it out with just those letters, so I'm just going to keep it at those letters. If they can get away with it, I can get away with it.
Just like we did ACL and PCL.
Right.
We didn't go anterior cruciate ligament.
No, so I don't need all that. But yeah, Jaren Jackson Jr. Is going to miss the rest. I love the way it was presented. Likely to miss the remainder. No.
He's out.
Nothing likely about it. He's absolutely going to miss the rest of the season.
You'll see him opening night.
That's right. Well, and then it's funny to me because I see all these people that were complaining about the Jazz playing their guys and then sitting them in the fourth quarter, but then I see a bunch of people upset that saying that, well, he could have played through this. They're just doing this because they're tanking. What do you want them to do? At the end of the day, they're going to do something. What do you want them to do?
I do want to catch Utah in the tanking. I want to out-tank them.
I don't think you're going to out-tank Utah. It's going to be tough. Again, if they're not playing any of their guys in the fourth quarter,
it's really difficult.
It's going to be
you have to actually have people on the floor, though, don't you?
Yeah, you definitely do. But I think those guys that are out there can be questionable about how good of players they are.
Anybody try to play with 4?
Well,
can't you?
You can, but I don't think we get that far.
Not very smart.
But yeah, I think it can be tough.
It's right up there with the guy that doesn't use a tee, teeing off.
That's right. Yeah.
The rules let you 18 times. I'm putting a peg in the ground 18 times.
Yeah.
Might tee it really, really, really low for like a 8-iron par 3 shot.
Yeah.
But I'm using something because they'll let me.
That's right. And then people not using it.
I don't get it.
I don't get that either. But
I'm gonna try it with 5 on the floor.
Right. Yeah, I'm going to do whatever I can do to help me be better at this sport, especially with how hard.
When do we have the full shutdown of Cooper Flagg? That's coming, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you could see that. I think
next hangnail, heat rash.
Well, I think you again, I haven't looked close enough.
Toenail injury.
This injury that's keeping me out of the All-Star break, but that could be the start of it. Of hey, we're sitting you for this, and then that turns into more weeks, and that turns into more weeks, and then that turns into something else, and he's done for the season.
Because they want him to be the last number 32 in Dallas Maverick history.
Yeah, and again, we were just talking about them. They're a team that right now. They don't have a lot of pieces around him. He is obviously awesome, but they just don't have much around him. And with Kyrie obviously not back and probably won't be back the rest of the season, if you can get in that top 10 at the very worst, you can really pair Cooper Flagg with another really, really talented player in this draft and then really start building up with 2 centerpieces and can maybe really boost that rebuild in terms of the timeline.
I hate to say this, but it's true. We're going to have more fun with Grizzlies talk May 25th to schedule release than we are now in season.
Yeah. And that's a
shame.
It is. It's the unfortunate part about the rebuild and the tanking and kind of all of that and really, it's so weird because it was just a couple weeks ago where you were sitting there going, man, let's go out there and win this game. Hoorah. Let's root on the Grizzlies. And then
the Atlanta game the night
sure
Ja got hurt.
That's right. I mean, it was big time.
That'll be 4 weeks next Wednesday.
When was
3 weeks last night?
When was the timeline for
I don't remember.
I'll have to look that up.
We know he's not playing before next Wednesday.
That's right. Yeah. So I'm just curious on when we could get an update. Maybe when they return from this All-Star break, if we get some sort of news with him. Not that I'm expecting anything crazy, but would be curious about that. But yeah, I mean, it's just like that. I mean, it changed from, hey, go out there and win to, hey, go out there and lose. And it really is a weird thing to watch play out.
Again, nobody here a doctor, certainly nobody here an orthopedist, not any kind of doctor. Yesteryear, before all the medical technology, would they even found that injury to Jaren?
I really don't know. I mean, probably not. But I really don't know much about it.
Isn't that along the lines of now, especially coming up here in the springtime, and it was really bad weather last spring at a lot of places, including my roof going. Mm-hmm. Don't we just know so much more now about the bad weather than we really used to know?
No, absolutely. No question. No question. And yeah, I mean, I think it's the exact same with medical stuff.
The technology, the advances are so good. Definitely. We're finding stuff that you play through, or it develops into something major in years from now with wear and tear on it.
Yeah, I think you look at the way that this is being reported, and that it's
like in my car, I can't help but look at the stupid tire pressure thing.
Oh yeah.
I used to would just every now and then give the eye exam, walk around the car, and get in it, drive.
Absolutely. No, Luckily, my truck, I still don't have to worry about that. I do have the light on, and that it just doesn't turn off. So I never know if they are
inflated or not.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just kind of every now and then glance down there and see.
We know too much.
Yeah, no, we do. But I think the way it was reported of the Jazz, it was revealed in some tests after he was traded. It really feels like this was something where they saw it during the draft when he did his medical. And
would you have done medical before you make the deal, or
it's one of those where he the trade's completed, and then he gets there, and because we saw last year with Mark Williams, he was in LA, he was ready to be a Laker, they're ready to move on, and they sent him right back because of that. So yeah, I mean, I think it was one where once he got to Utah, they did their medical and they saw it and they said, hey, this is something that we probably need to do an operation just to make sure there's no issues.
And we're thinking we'll do it now.
Sure. And then, he wants to go out there, play with his new team. You go out there, play a couple games, and then, okay, you've had your fun. I think last night might have been their first home game since he's been traded. So, hey, you've played a couple games with the team. You've played a game in front of the fans. Time to sit you on the bench, and we'll do this again next year. So definitely an interesting situation there with Jaren Jackson Jr.
How come we can't get past the Latvians?
This has been an interesting game. I haven't since we started with basically our show started basically when the second period started. So I haven't been able to watch much.
That was after intermission, not halftime.
Did I say halftime?
No, you didn't.
Okay, good. I was like, I don't think I would make that mistake, but yeah, the second period started.
Like you would not.
That's right. Second period started right when we were starting the show, so I haven't been able to watch this first 5 minutes of the second period. But that first period was insane. I mean, you had twice the United States hit the bar, and it didn't go in. You had 2 goals that were taken back. So, I mean...
One in the crease.
That's right.
I don't
remember what the other one was.
That's what they call it, right? The crease.
That's right, the crease. So, I mean, there's a world out there. There's an alternate universe out there where USA is up like 5-1 right now.
I broke it down with... Right after watching it,
You did.
Size and speed is obviously
they're bigger and faster.
Big advantage.
They are,
USA.
no. USA will have an advantage over most teams in this competition.
Hey, the world owes Latvia though. They were one of the first breakaways from the old USSR.
That's right. That's true.
The Baltics.
So let's we can find another way to make sure things are right with them, other than them defeating the Americans. But no, it's been a fun game so far. But
it's cold in Latvia.
I bet it is. I bet. Hey, I'm sure they get a lot
close to the Baltic Sea.
Yeah. I'm sure they get a lot of
St. Petersburg.
Yeah, they can get outside.
That ain't Florida, St. Petersburg.
No, not at all. But let me set up today's show before we get to top and not top story. of the day, 3:30. We'll talk some Tiger basketball. They're in action tonight on the road against North Texas. So we'll talk a lot about tonight's game. We'll also make our picks. Tiger bankroll. We'll play it off of Memphis as a 1.5-point favorite in Denton. So Tigers are favored on the road, but it is not heavily favored.
Still struggling to get my pat on the back for the weekend.
Well, I told you, Brett. I mean, I by the time we started our show with everything with the Super Bowl and all the talk of that,
have time to get to think. Congratulate me, huh?
Congratulations.
I'll be honest. I kind of forgot about the Tigers game on Sunday. Yeah. I kind of forgot it happened. So here, and
I played all week for a pat on the back and still haven't.
And the way that game played out, I mean, the Tigers were up by 20 before you really got seeded. So, I mean, I kind of forgot that game happened. So, yes, but congratulations to you, Brett.
Thank you.
Hopefully, hopefully you can make it a couple in a row now tonight. So, we'll talk Tigers in our next segment. 3:45, we'll talk Grizzlies, talk about last night's game, and talk about what's coming up next. Is not much coming up with the All-Star break getting started for the Grizzlies through next week. 4 o'clock, Keith Smith from Spot Track and the Front Office Show. He'll join us. We'll talk the NBA with Keith. A lot to get to there. Don't mention
Super Bowl to him.
No.
Move right on.
We'll just let that one slide, and we'll talk a lot of NBA. Luckily, plenty to talk about in the NBA. So we'll definitely have fun with Keith. 4:30, we'll talk some college basketball. It's an eventful night around college hoops. Some really good games, especially in the SEC. We talked about it. All road teams getting the win last night in the SEC. So we'll talk some SEC. We'll talk some college basketball. Plenty to get to. And even, I don't know if you saw Jerome Tang after the game last night for Kansas State. He was running hot, so we will talk about that at 4:30. 4:45, we'll get to big number of the day. 5 o'clock, Greg Gaston. He'll join us. We'll talk a lot of Tigers with Greg. Greg was on the call for that Sunday game against Charlotte, so we'll talk a lot of Tiger hoops with him. We'll talk some Tiger football as well. 5:30, we'll get to what's trending, and at 5:45, we'll wrap up today's show like we always do with Moe's Crunch Time. Let me remind you, we're in our Family Leisure Studios where family and fun come together. The Floor Model Spa Sale, it's going on right now at Family Leisure. It's time to make room. Deep discounts on over 100 display models and in-stock hot tubs, swim spas, and cold plunges. Have you been dreaming about a new spa? Well, now is the time to buy. Spas as low as $99 a month. Over $1,000 in free upgrades with every spa purchased. $8,000 spas, only $159 a month, and free LED lights and waterfall. It's available on most models. Head out to Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40.
We are Sportstime, and we're live and we're local and with you until 6 o'clock, and we want you to be a part of our show by texting or calling 901-360-8255. That's the Sissy's Log Cabin text and talk line. He's Brian. I'm Brett. Our producer is Landon Schmidt, and we're always live and local from our Family Leisure Studios. In this hour, brought to you every day by Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and online at lexusofmemphis.com. Great offers on all 2026 models and always special leasing options. Drive in luxury and confidence knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. You can call them at 901-334-9673, but they invite you to stop by the only Lexus dealership in Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway, and that's where you can put yourself in the driver's seat of the all-new 2026 flagship LS500, and you'll be looking and you'll be driving in style. When you purchase a Lexus, you get top-of-the-line engineering and design, and they make for the safe luxury driving experience. Online at lexusofmemphis.com. Experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis.
Top story of the day.
Well, my top story of the day, it is the Grizzlies and that loss last night against the Denver Nuggets. It was a fun game. The Grizzlies very competitive. I thought they did a nice job at times against Nikola Jokic, even with the size and ability disadvantage that was on the court against the MVP. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it was a 122-116 win for the Denver Nuggets. You looked at who played really well last night. Gigi Jackson, he was really good. 21 points for him. Knocked down some threes, grabbed some rebounds, really even had some assists. Everything you really want to see from Gigi, you got on the offensive end. Defensively, he had some nice plays as well. I thought he looked really, really good. 3 of the starters in double figures, a couple guys off the bench, Omax, Taylor Hendricks, who has had a couple nice games that he has stringed together since being traded. Really, really good last night and close to maybe even getting a win over the Denver Nuggets. So kind of talk about that win-win, a game where it was entertaining, you were invested, it was a game that kind of kept you interested
got what we wanted
until the fourth quarter, and then you lose. Now, I don't think every game is going to play out like this, but it was fun last night. It was I thought, a really fun game to watch, but ultimately the Grizzlies did lose. And we talked about Jaren Jackson Jr. now going to miss the rest of the season with surgery. I don't know who Utah plays tonight. I'm guessing Utah, one of the 3 games tonight around the NBA.
Heavy Tank influence tonight.
Yes, home against the Blazers. Keontae George, Jaren Jackson Jr., Walker Kessler, and Lauri Markkanen out for the Jazz tonight. That's their entire starting lineup. I mean, that is
team.
That's everybody. So I don't know what the line is for the Blazers and Jazz game tonight, but maybe take a look at the Blazers.
My top story, biggest road game of the year. It's tonight for the Tigers that will set up the biggest road game of the year at the toughest place to play all year, Utah State. I've really amended that all week, haven't I?
You have, but I think you're in a good spot right now.
I think that will be the toughest atmosphere the Tigers have played in. But first things first, tonight at the Super Pit in Denton, Texas, the chance to win this conference and have another confetti cannon celebration like they had last year when they won this garbage league. But you got to celebrate when you win. That led to a first-round NCAA tournament exit with a loaded team. What will a win tonight lead to for the rest of the year? It's must win, and then we will see. And then again Saturday night will be must win.
Not top story of the day.
Yeah, that's my not top story of the day. The Tigers in action on the road tonight against North Texas. This is the second game between these two teams this year, and that first game, it was an ugly one.
New Year's
Eve. That's right, a game where I believe the two teams combined for like 46, 48 points in the first half.
I was at a place and asked them to turn it on the Tiger game.
Yeah.
And this was all George fans. This was not Ole Miss fans.
Yeah.
And every George, who got them to turn it on that?
Well, it's honestly the way that game played out. I don't blame them for having that reaction. It was an ugly game. Neither team could really shoot the ball well. It became kind of defensive slugfest. But it was a game that the Tigers won. Can they do the same tonight on the road, Brett? You mentioned the Super Pit. You know what they say about the Super Pit. Nobody just walks into the Super Pit and walks out with an easy W. I mean, it is not easy to win in Denton, Texas. You look at their 3 losses at home this year at the Super Pit by 4 points or less. So yeah, they've taken some losses at home, but no team has gone into their building and really blown them out. Can the Tigers do that tonight? They've had some success over the last couple games. You go back to that game against Charlotte where, I mean, I said it earlier, over before the game even really got started. So can they do that tonight? Again, setting up for a really big week of road games from tonight till next Thursday night. Feels like a really big week for the Tigers. How do they start tonight on the road?
I got my answer on who's doing the announcing. Kenny Albert.
Oh, is that right? Wow.
Olympic hockey, and
wow,
he just called a goal for the United States. My not top story, the Grizzlies stumble home. Tank is empty, but the real tank better get full. The tanking tank. The tank on the season is about done. It's going to be hard to crack that top 5. The league-wide don't care this week, I think, has been an affront to every paying customer. That last night in Philadelphia, in front of the 76ers home crowd, and then to see their players cutting up and laughing and, playing around with the other team after that loss. Second biggest Nick win in history last night, and you're seeing it league-wide. It is disgraceful to do the ticket buying public like that.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy over these last couple months of the season as everybody kind of trying to line up to see who they can take in this 2026 draft. But that'll do it for top and not top story of the day. Let's get to a break. When we return, we're talking some Tiger basketball. They're on the road tonight against North Texas. We'll discuss it. We'll also make our picks during Tiger Bankroll. We do all that next on Sportstime.
Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Available locally on your radio dial as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, it's easy to stay tuned to Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
It's a new year, and it's the first new sale at Family Leisure. It's the floor model sale happening now. Family Leisure has deep, like diving deep discounts on over 100 display models and in-stock hot tubs, swim spas, even those cold plunges. How deep are these discounts? I'm not allowed to say. So if you've been putting off getting a new spa, then right now is the best time to buy. Here's one price I can let loose. You can get a spa as low as $99 a month. Plus, you can get over $1,000 in upgrades with every spa purchased. One other special deal, you can get an $8,000 spa for only $159 a month. And you know what? Family Leisure is going to throw in some LED lights and waterfalls on most models. Room's got to be made, and so do the deals at Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
Air. We breathe it naturally. Simple, right? Not so fast. The air you breathe could be hazardous to your health. Don't guess. Be sure with a phone call to the Memphis Mold Inspector, the only licensed mold assessor in the Mid-South. Call the Memphis Mold Inspector to check the air quality inside your home and office. Protect babies, pets, new homes, old homes, employees, friends, loved ones, and you. Just call 901-292-7788 for clean air and peace of mind. 901-292-7788 for the Memphis Mold Inspector.
Remember the song How Many More Times? That's right, the title of a song that fits in right with what I always tell people. This is Sheldon Rosengarten with Mark's Ben Store Realtors. Before you put your house on the market, I always tell people to talk to 2 to 3 real estate brokers to not only find out what they think of your home and its pricing, but more important, what they will do for you. And make sure that I am one of them. There are keys to my highly successful strategic marketing program that involve preparing your house for the market and being able to present it before any objections take place. I've done this for a long time, and my professional team has one goal in mind: to get you to the closing table making as much money as possible. But first, remember what people often say: when you want the job done, call Shell Done at 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com. Remember, how many more times? That's Shell Done at memphisrelocate.com or 483-0546. And tell me the name of the band that sang that song.
If you need glass replaced, there's only one name you need to know: Binswanger Glass, the largest full-service glass company in the U.S. They've been an industry leader for over 145 years. For all your residential, commercial, or auto glass needs, Binswanger Glass is the name you need to know. 24-hour emergency service for all commercial customers, plus a nationwide warranty on all professionally installed glass. Visit Binswanger Glass in Midtown at 340 South Hollywood, across from the Liberty Bowl. Visit binswingerglass.com. Binswanger Glass.
Sports 56 traffic.
And TDOT working feverishly out here trying to clear up this truck crash. It's going to be out here for a little bit longer, and we've got a pretty good backup from it here on 40 westbound at Canada Road, slowing down that traffic. Trying to get in from Fayette County into Shelby County again. Pretty good delays out here. It's been out here for a while. 40 westbound, eastbound was slow as well around Canada Road. Valentine's Day knocking on our doors. Shop local this year. Go by and see them at Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck, your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Well, back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you, and we got to talk the Tigers. They're in action tonight on the road against North Texas, the first of 3 straight road games for this Tigers team. You talk about the American. We kind of mentioned it yesterday as we were getting out of it. Really could be an interesting night around the American, and it really was.
You got there.
Yeah, it did. Tulane at home with a win over Temple, a Temple team that's sitting at the top of the conference. South Florida on the road against Wichita State gets a win. Rice pulls a massive upset over Florida Atlantic, who's really struggled as of late. And then UAB on the road, this wacky team that can't win at home in conference play, but seemingly wins every game on the road in conference
including
play.
At the Pit.
That's right, yeah. They pull the upset against Tulsa, so a really, really interesting night last night in the American. And we'll see tonight what happens, as Memphis North Texas is the only game in the American tonight.
We're not pumping sunshine to say the Tigers can be the 1 seed, are we?
No, absolutely.
You win tonight, you're a game back in the loss column.
I think this,
and you have USF 2 more times,
right.
or 2 times, both times.
I think the American is up for grabs for anybody in the conference. It's just the way that this conference has been all season long.
How far down do you go?
I would say everybody 5 losses and up. I think it would be tough for the 6 losses to.
Well, 7
to
of the
get
10
there.
teams will make Birmingham.
Exactly. I just the way this conference has been ever since the first game in conference play, it felt like
Okay,
it was
it's
gonna
bad,
be
but
this,
we can have fun with it, can't we?
Oh no, yeah. I mean, I don't think this is the worst conference in the country by any means.
No, nor do I.
It's not great. It's a bad conference, but
is it the worst it's ever been?
Yeah, I would say so.
Too.
I would say so. Because I mean, even like,
please don't have to go to Dickey's arena.
Well, that's true. That is a good point by you. But hey, there was what was it? It was either 2 or 3 years ago. I guess 2 or 3 years ago, and I remember a lot of people calling this conference bad, and it was miles better than what it is this year, and had some really good teams, some really good players.
Just injury with FAU?
I don't know. I don't.
Have we had? Everywhere people speculate, have cash not come through, checks been cut out?
Yeah. I don't know. I really don't with FAU, because I know Jason Munns was tweeting about this last night after the loss, or either this morning. But I mean, you talk about 5 straight losses, including losses against East Carolina at home. I mean, that's the worst. Like, I can get behind road loss against South Florida, road loss against Memphis, home loss against Tulsa, and a road loss against Rice. I think all of those are fine. But it's the home loss against East Carolina that I just kind of sit there and look at and like, man, even with injuries, that should be a game that you should win, because East Carolina is terrible this year. So I don't know. I mean, I would like to think it's only injuries, because we saw how good that team can be the first time Memphis played them at home. So I don't know, but I think the way that this is playing, the way this losing streak is stacked up, they're really in a weird spot right now, and it's going to be tough for them, and they're really going to have to do something special to make it, even to the semifinals in the conference tournament.
Tonight is the new everything game for the Tigers. It's everything for North Texas too, because with that Rice win, they lose tonight standing wise. Well, they already are today, but they will be with a game back. They wouldn't make Birmingham.
Interesting. Wow. Yeah, I mean, we're getting to that point where it's kind of the jockeying for who's going to be able to make it now that we have the change in the American Conference for that tournament.
I wish some of the bigger conferences would not bring everybody. There are 3 or 4 SEC teams that last Saturday of regular season games, that should be the end of it.
Yeah. I mean, you're probably right. I am not going to push for that, because I love the all those teams playing and seeing one more game out of a lot of these teams.
Now, for
you're probably right.
The single bid leagues, they're doing it to try to protect themselves.
Oh yeah, I mean we're getting really close to the time of year where we all kind of, I mean, even though they've been out for months, we all kind of get our first look of the brackets, where it's just, I mean, these teams that are dead last in the conference, they've got to go on this gauntlet, and the top 2 teams aren't playing until the semifinals. So yeah, the American trying to go to that, and I think it's a good idea when you're going to be a one big conference. You want that team that is the best team in your conference to be set up to win it, and because I mean, crazy things happen in conference tournaments, so you want that top team to be set up really well to be that NCAA tournament.
I wish the American and some of the other one bid leagues would even go more dramatic. Maybe even have the winner of the regular season, you're already directly in the finals. You're playing in the finals.
Yeah. I can't get behind that either. Now you got to do something. I want to see you do more than one. I mean, you did.
And that comeback, and I don't know who said it the other day. Maybe bracket guy Dave said it. But for anybody that complains on Selection Sunday, we finished strong, or we did such and such in the last 2 weeks. Well, you've had since November.
Yeah. But I mean, at that point, like, if we're just going to put the top team in the conference, don't even play the conference tournament. I mean, they can still lose, sure, but if you're doing all of that just to protect your team, I'm for it. Like, it's cool.
And the Big Ten did that for a long time. The Pac-12 did that for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, just get rid of the conference tournament and say the regular season
Ivy
champion.
did it.
Yeah, I mean, and I'd be fine with that.
None of them are doing it now because I guess they can claw out and scratch out some money. But how much is that Wednesday at the SEC? How much does that really matter?
Not much.
I remember the drudgery of the 4 games on Thursday.
Yeah.
And it got a lot better on Friday.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, it definitely did.
Because then you saw the protected seeds play.
Yeah, you can definitely see the difference. I mean, I guess you can, I think there's an argument to be made. I mean, Nashville, you can sell it to those fans of, hey, just go and have the couple days in Nashville. And so I'm sure there's something there. But, yeah, I mean, it's pretty drastic for sure. So, yeah, I mean, I think tonight, really big for the Tigers. Obviously, next Thursday, really big for the Tigers in terms of momentum and things like that. Saturday will be a big game. So, yeah,
Saturday's a pretty free shot.
Oh, it absolutely is. And, I mean, if you play well, then I think you can continue to carry that momentum and that confidence into next Thursday night's game. But tonight, next Thursday, those are 2 massive games for the Tigers.
Yeah, you're right about that confidence. You competitive, a 1 or 2 possession game with 40 seconds to play, then what that would do headed to South Florida.
No, it would be huge. And, I mean, I never want to talk about moral victories, but I do think there's a lot to take away in losses and certainly in that environment.
I take away moral improvement.
Oh, definitely. And I think
I'm working on mine every day.
Well, it's very big of you, Brett. That's very big of you. But yeah, I mean, we've seen the improvements with this team, and so just to see that keep rolling, I know we're talking about 2 wins in a row. Try to see that consistency. Would love to see a win tonight and kind
develop the 4th guy.
Yeah, no, I think there's still a ton of questions with this team, but I do think moving in the right direction. And so if you can get a win tonight and it looks somewhat comfortable, then I think you definitely can start talking about this team.
I'll say it again. I don't think we're pumping sunshine. I think we're talking realistic.
No. I don't think we're pumping sunshine at all. I mean, again, like there's a great chance for Memphis to win this conference and I mean, it's a different story. I mean, that's why
there's no free pass Saturday. And there's no confidence going to South Florida.
There's one team that has less than 4 losses in the conference, and that's South Florida. I mean, you play South Florida twice, like you said. So I'm not going to get into the tiebreakers right now, but I mean, Memphis is in a good spot, just along with all these other teams.
We got a rout unfolding in Milan Cortina.
It was a rout.
Where's the hockey being played? Milan or Cortina?
I think it's in Milan.
Okay.
Don't quote
me. Is that a little bit like Champaign-Urbana?
I think so. I'm not positive. I don't know. My Italian geography is not the best.
Mine either.
But I do think this is in Milan. But yeah, it felt like it was going this direction. That first period, I know it's 1-1. That first period was really a rout.
You green check mark in play here?
No, I didn't. I didn't bet anything today in hockey. I try to stay away from the Olympic bets. Anything can happen in the Olympics, so I try to stay away. But I'm not saying I'll continue that. But at least I just want to see the guys out there.
Will anything goofy happen tonight at the Super Pit? Tigers -1.5.
Could.
I'm 10-13 picking the Tigers against the point spread this year. The Tigers are 13-10 against the point spread. Bryant, you are 13-10. You mirror the Tigers. Landon, you are 9-14. I'm at 1260. We all started with $1,000 in our bankroll. I've added to it. Bryant, you've added to it. You're at 1045. Landon, you're at 870. I go first since I'm in the lead, having won 100 last Sunday to very few pats on the back on Monday, or even into Tuesday and Wednesday, and still playing for some on Thursday. Didn't get them, so I'm just going to add to my total. I'm going to lay the 1.5 Tigers $20 and get to 1280. Bryant.
I'll go with the Tigers in this one. I think you go back to that first game in Memphis, both these teams offensively really, really bad. I think Memphis has figured some things out offensively, and you look at this North Texas team, they really struggle shooting the ball. They're a good team defensively, and that could certainly make things interesting tonight, just like it was in that first game. But you talk about 1.5, they've been beaten at home. They've been beaten, it's been close, but they've been able to go out there and lose by 4 points. So I think the Tigers can do something similar tonight. I think it could be a close game, but I'll take Memphis for $30.
Landon, your time.
Well, I don't love it, but I'm going to group lock with you guys on the Tigers tonight. I feel like they do get the job done.
I hate it.
Yeah, I don't like it either. But with that being said, I'm still going to bet $35.
35 group lock Tigers. We are 1-2 this year group lock. I said that wrong last time. We all had FAU and the Tigers won. We all had Memphis in the Alabama State game, and we all had the Tigers plus the
against UNLV.
Against UNLV. And there's another one. We all had the Tigers, and they covered against Ole Miss. So we are 1-1, 2-1, 2-2. This is the fourth time.
Interesting.
We're 2-2.
All right. So we'll see if we can.
Cameron last night, and I looked it up.
Yeah.
The 26 he had against the Tigers, he hadn't come close to that the rest of the year.
No, he hasn't. Yeah. Every time I see him, I kind of think about that because he was can't miss that night. He was just knocking down everything, and you're right. It is really slowed down for him. So yeah, we'll see what the Tigers can do tonight. Again, 3 straight road games for anybody that cares. Ken Pom, and I believe Ken Pomeroy on the morning show tomorrow morning with Greg and Eli. But Ken Pom's analytics say
great get.
That it really is a great get. That'll be.
He doesn't do a lot of radio, does he?
He does not. So that'll be a lot of fun tomorrow morning. But Ken Pom right now, his analytics saying Memphis will lose tonight's game. They have Memphis winning tonight's game. I did not know I was on North Texas page. They have Memphis winning tonight's game by 1 point, 64-63. So if that happens, we all lose, but Tigers win. So we'll see what happens tonight.
4-1 USA now.
Yeah, I mean, and
stacking it up.
Yeah, this game was never close. This scoreboard was the only thing that
football.
Was close.
What score would this be? 4-1.
4-1 would be like 17-3, something like that.
Oh, just that small.
Well, I mean, I'd say 17-3. Because we're it'd be like 17-3, or maybe 21-3 going into the fourth quarter.
Oh, we got that much time to play?
Yeah, I mean, we just ended the second period, so we're getting close to.
This is my longest run of Olympic viewing so far.
That's right, but we're getting
2 days in a row.
A 3-goal deficit is hard to come back from. Not unheard of, but it's hard to come back from.
At Jason's Deli, I know you'll love all the different choices you have, the variety of delicious choices for catering or in all the locations for breakfast, lunch, all-day meals, whether it's a group of 5 or 5,000, they will take care of you. Low delivery fees, vegetarian, gluten-sensitive options, same-day, last-minute orders welcomed. That's where they really excel, and they did during the big game for so many events that they catered, and during the big ice that they took care of so many people, and they appreciate everyone being so very patient with them. Whether you're dining in, getting it to go, or getting it delivered, it's wholesome food forever. It's a family thing at Jason's Deli at any of these locations, on Ridgeway across from MUS in Park Place, at Poplar and Highland near the University of Memphis, down in Olive Branch, out in Cordova, and all those locations. That great salad bar with over 30 items for you to choose from to prepare it however you would like. It's all healthy. First franchise in the nation to be trans fat free. And it's all about choice, whether you seek a gluten-free menu, vegetarian sandwiches, healthy kids meals, or if you'd like to invent your own sandwich via the Build Your Own. And those salads, like the Mesa chicken salad, the Big Chef salad, the taco salad, plenty of organic food to choose from, catering again anytime, anywhere, and complimentary ice cream in all the locations at Park Place by the University of Memphis, in Olive Branch, and out in Cordova. Check them out online as well at jasonsdeli.com.
Well, we need to get to a break. When we return, we're going to talk some more hoops. We're going to talk the Grizzlies. They lost last night against the Denver Nuggets, and now they are off until we return from the All-Star break. So we're talking Grizzlies next on Sports Time.
Did you miss your favorite Sports 56 show? No! Check out the podcast, broken down hourly at sports56whbq.com or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to like and subscribe. Never miss any Sports 56 show again with our podcasts available daily from Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Come on and let the good times roll, y'all. Or as we say in Louisiana, laissez le bon temps rouler. The Orleans in the Ville with our made-from-scratch red beans, jambalaya, gumbo, po' boys, and made-fresh daily muffaladas right here in Collierville. Eat, drink, and stay for dessert like our homemade bread pudding with warm bourbon sauce. Monday through Friday, meat and two with homemade veggies, so good you bring your mom and them. Brunch every Saturday and Sunday. Right here, the Orleans in the Ville, 336 New Byhalia Road. Where great food, live music, and endless fun meet.
Rick's Powder Coating for a beautiful finish every time. Rick's Powder Coating specializes in automotive, ornamental, residential, and industrial coating. With 2 conveyor lines and the largest batch ovens in the Mid-South, Rick's can accommodate all of your powder coating needs. Locally owned and operated since 2002, Rick's Powder Coating will customize a beautiful finish just for you. Drop by or call to see how Rick's Powder Coating can bring color to your life. 901-367-2771 or rickspowdercoating.com.
Visit Frontier Western Store today for new shirts and boots. Frontier is your top Carhartt store in the Mid-South. There's thousands of in-stock shirts and jeans. They have the classic K87 pocket tee in every color they make, including new ones just released. Available small to 4X. Want new jeans? Frontier has you covered with super tough work denim by Carhartt. And you've got to check out their selection of Ariat jeans for men, women, and children. You'll love how easy it is to find the size and style you need. Have you seen Frontier's remodeled world-famous boot showroom? It continues to expand. New styles by Ariat just arrived, plus plenty of in-stock proven classics too. Whether you need work or dress boots, trust that Frontier's the place to come. See thousands of pairs of Ariat boots and thousands more by Dan Post, Corral, Durango, Rocky, Twisted X, and others. And Frontier's pricing is lower than online and chain stores, so you know just the local shop to visit. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Locally owned and operated since 1967.
With Progressive, it's easy to reach customer service with our app, website, chat, or by phone. Because when getting help is hard, it's not help at all.
Little help. Little help over here.
Thank you for calling Bench Press Assistance.
What?
Due to excessive gym volume, all available spotters are currently lifting heavy weights off the chests of other bench pressers.
Seriously?
Please continue to hold, and we will remove the barbell from your chest in the order in which your cry for help was received.
Getting assistance should be easy. With Progressive, it is. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Join NFL and Ole Miss football legend Archie Manning for an evening of inspiring stories on leadership, perseverance, and greatness. Don't miss Archie Manning at the Heindel Center in Senatobia, Mississippi on Friday, February 20th. Tickets are on sale now at heindelcenter.org.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you, and we got to talk the Grizzlies. It was a loss last night against the Denver Nuggets, 122-116. It was a fun, competitive game. The Grizzlies did a nice job in a lot of different aspects of that game, but ultimately, down the stretch, Denver had their guys. Grizzlies didn't and don't want to, and the better team won.
Denver didn't want it to.
That's right. And so Denver gets the win. Grizzlies did exactly what they want to do and took another loss, and now they get to relax a little bit on the All-Star break before they return a little bit early. They're one of the teams making up a game, so they're back a little bit earlier than most when they return to play Utah on the no, they're not. It's later in the season when they make up those games.
That's regular schedule.
I thought that was. I thought they had added one
the 20th
earlier, but so first game back will be against Utah.
Schedule got confusing.
And that's what messed me up, is we were so confused yesterday, and so I thought we said there was one. But no, Utah the next game. I know a lot of people were excited about that. See Jaren back, but now we know Jaren will not be playing in that game for the Utah Jazz against the Grizzlies. So.
All right, what analyst in the Grizzlies department's in trouble today for Ty Jerome playing 21 minutes when 20 is supposed to be it?
Man, well, hey, maybe this is a good thing. Maybe this means he's getting more minutes. Maybe he's getting a little bit away from.
We don't want more minutes.
The minutes
he's
restriction.
Too good.
Well, I mean, I guess they can find ways to do it and still lose games. But no, Ty Jerome is a really good player. He's been super impressive since.
Who can get better the rest of the year while the Grizzlies still tank and lose that can help next year?
It's a good question. I think Taylor Hendricks is the one I'm watching just because he's the newest and it's kind of the unknown. It's been kind of rough to start his career in the NBA, but you look at a really rough first game with the Grizzlies, but has done some nice things these last two games, and he's certainly a guy. I don't know what his contract looks like, but maybe a young guy that you keep around. You got drafted in 2023, only 22 years old. Maybe a guy that if you can start developing him, if he can start to really find his role on this team, that maybe can turn into a piece next year and down the road. I don't think he turns into one of those centerpieces that you're going to do the building around, but I think could be a guy that could give you some good minutes next year.
And then there are guys that you don't want bad habits to start with.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's the big thing when you talk about getting to this point with tanking and different things like that. When you start stacking these losses, that's when those bad habits form. And so I do think it's good to have a couple of these veterans on the roster that have played in some really nice places and some really big time moments. I mean, you talk about Kyle Anderson and KCP and even Ty Jerome. Some of these guys that have done some nice things in their career and have played for some really good organizations, to have them around to try to keep everybody in line and try to keep those bad habits from forming.
And remember 2 years ago when we fell in love, and the front office did, with Vince Williams and G.G. Jackson, and that ended up not being a very fair barometer.
No, and I think G.G. Jackson's another one of those guys that I think it's going to be really interesting the rest of the way to see what happens with him. He's been playing extremely well over the last month, so maybe he's a guy that getting more run out there and getting more playing time can get some good things going and really start developing and turn into a guy that can help you down the road. Or it could be the opposite. He continues to play well, and another team out there says, hey, we think a guy like G.G. Jackson can help us, and you make an off-season trade. Because you look at this roster, I look at it and I wonder, what does this roster look like next year? How many of these guys that we're seeing, how many of those guys are back next year and are playing on a nightly basis for this Grizzlies team?
We all wonder that. Yeah. Opening night next year, introduction line.
Yeah, it's going to be a big. Because you look, Kyle Anderson, I doubt is back next year. KCP, is he back next year? I think he has a player option in his deal. G.G. Jackson, is he here next year? Obviously, Ja Morant is the big one. Taylor Hendricks, a guy, is he back next year? Even a guy like Ty Jerome, if Ty Jerome continues to play really well the rest of the season, is he back next year? Because again, we talked about yesterday.
Put him in a deal.
Yeah, I don't know if Ty Jerome at age 28, a guy that has been with Cleveland, Golden State, and certainly Oklahoma City before they made this jump, I don't know if he wants to be doing the rebuild. And so, maybe that's a guy that you can get some pieces back in return in the offseason. So, I don't know what this roster looks like in a couple of months when we talk about next season. But we need to go ahead and wrap up this first hour. When we return, we're going to continue to talk the NBA. Keith Smith from Spot Track and the Front Office Show, he joins us next.
Running a business is hard enough, but cleaning a business? Your time's too valuable for that. You need High-Low Commercial Services, dedicated professional cleaners with 15 years of cleaning experience. High-Low customizes your cleaning needs, and you get the JRD guarantee. We clean until you're satisfied. Shopping center, retail spaces, medical, legal offices, High-Low cleans it all. Visit MrCleanTeam.com. That is MrCleanTeam, MrCleanTeam.com for High-Low Commercial Services.
Step up your wings game at East Coast Wings and Grill. With over 60 wing flavors and 7 heat indexes, do you have what it takes to turn the heat on your wings up to insanity? East Coast Wings and Grill is family friendly with a large variety menu to satisfy the whole bunch. Sign up today for their loyalty program and taste the rewards. For every $1 you spend, you collect a point. Earn 100 points and receive a $5 reward. Next to Lowe's off Highway 64 in Bartlett, come try America's best wings at East Coast Wings and Grill.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home at Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
Napa Cafe celebrates 28 years in 2026.
Hi, I'm Glenda Hastings, owner of Napa Cafe, and I'm inviting you over for dinner. Treat yourself tonight with a delightful dinner of scrumptious combinations. Fresh salads, homemade soups, or maybe start with an appetizer like our baked Dungeness crab dip with manchego cheese, lemon, garlic, and French baguette toast. Drift into one of our fresh seafood dishes, like the caramelized sea scallops with curry beurre blanc, black forbidden rice, and Thai mango salad, or our ancho honey glazed salmon with creamy black bean puree, avocado pico de gallo, and jalapeno crema. Maybe you're looking for something cozy and comforting, like our Duroc pork chop with apple brandy demi-glaze and blue cheese bacon mashed potatoes. We have something for everyone. Napa Cafe, open Wednesday through Saturday for dinner starting at 5 o'clock. For reservations, visit our website at napacafe.com. I'd sure love to see you.
Come join in and celebrate 28 years of Napa Cafe in 2026.
Progressive knows road trips without your pet can be tough.
Hi, this is Next Stop Dog Boarding.
Hi, it's Scott again. How's Squeaks doing? You can tell if he's stressed by his eyebrows. Oh, and his breathing should sound like this.
Scott, Squeaks is exactly the same as last time you called.
Okay, let's talk in 20 to see if anything's changed.
With Progressive, your pet is covered up to $1,000 in vet bills in case of a car accident. So next time, you can take your pet with you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and subject to policy terms.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. The cleanup continues on this crash. It's been out here now for a while. 40 westbound near Canada Road at one point had traffic backed up in both directions. Again, a little extra time as you come in from Fayette County into Shelby County as they mop up this accident involving a truck. Again, it laid on its side for a while there on 40 westbound near Canada Road. Normal buildup, if you want to call it that, on 240 southbound here at South Parkway. Hey, Valentine's Day's knocking on our door. Stop by Weimer's Jewelry right now and shop local. Save a lot of money at Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis with John Harden. Weekdays from 11 to 1. Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you as we start our second hour on this Thursday afternoon. We got to talk some NBA, and we do it at this time every single Thursday with Keith Smith.
Time to talk NBA with Keith Smith from Spot Rack and the Front Office Show, and on Twitter X at Keith Smith NBA. Here's Keith Smith talking basketball with Bryant and Brett.
Keith Smith joins us now to talk the NBA, and a lot to talk about as we're starting to wrap up for the All-Star break. Only 3 games tonight, a ton of games last night. But Keith, all the talk around the league right now is these teams starting to file in order. The tank is on. A lot of teams starting to look towards the 2026 NBA draft, including the Memphis Grizzlies that have now lost a handful of games in a row over the last week or two. But I'd say this, everyone's talking about the Jazz and sitting all their guys in the fourth quarter and all this stuff. The Grizzlies, they've got a couple guys on minutes restriction, but for the most part, they've been somewhat competitive in these games and kind of taking them deep into the fourth quarters before kind of letting it go and suffering a loss. What do you make of what we're seeing around the NBA with it feels like a lot of teams starting to get into tank mode?
Yeah, it's tough because this is nothing new, right? People are starting to act like this is the first time we've ever seen teams tanking. And it's just very confusing to me because this has existed in basically every year that I've kind of really followed the league in depth, all the way back to them creating the lottery after, having coin flips to decide picks and all kinds of other stuff. So when we're in this position, there is some egregious stuff happening for sure. Utah pulling starters at the end of games and the like, the amount of teams that are just not sitting or not playing guys and sitting guys out. But again, none of that is new. I mean, we had this with the 76ers, then the Thunder, and every time it was, they're ruining the league, and this is going to be the end of the NBA. And last I checked, they're still going and still doing all right. So it's just been a very odd thing to kind of see this, a major backlash against it when I don't know that anything new is happening here.
How would you, if they asked you to remedy it a little bit, correct it a little bit, would you incentivize the middle more?
What do you mean by incentivize the middle?
The 9, 10, 11 seeds, would you make it more attractive for them to not tank and go for the playoffs, and if they win a little more, maybe have a little more ping pong balls in the hopper?
I don't know. It's such a hard thing because the whole idea behind a draft process is to make sure that the worst teams get the best prospects. And if you do a good job in the draft, you should turn the fortunes around for your team. Anytime you start rewarding teams that are already, okay, and like for example, if you said, all right, we're going to give the Golden State Warriors more ping pong balls if they miss the playoffs, now all of a sudden it becomes, wait, so the Warriors get Darren Peterson to put with Stephen Curry, and Jimmy's like, it just feels off, right? Now nothing says they can't win the lottery, so I really don't know that I like that idea of it. There's a lot of people out there who are pushing for some version of whether it is when you're eliminated from the playoffs, and then it's percentage based off of how many games you have left, how many wins you have. They call them tombstone wins. After you're eliminated or after X date, this is where the records matter, and it goes. But sometimes teams are just bad, right? That's what gets lost in all this. It's been humorous until really the last couple of games. The Sacramento Kings fans are like, hey, we're not tanking. We just stink, right? We're just terrible. And I don't think it's fair to say, well, every bad team, is, this is how it's going to go. And that's why I don't like the flattened lottery odds. The one thing I think you got to get rid of is these protected picks in the middle of the round, or the middle of the lottery, rather. I think that's a big one. Get rid of that, because then that would, for Utah and for Washington, that would remove those incentives. But those teams are also bad enough that they're trying to get towards the very top of the lottery as well. So it really is it's a tough spot. And being quite honest, I don't have a perfect answer for it.
Would you ever consider going back to just the last go first? And if you got down to coin flips, go ahead and do it. And everybody talks about the famous coin flip of Phoenix losing out, to not get Lou Alcindor or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Milwaukee did win. But also a very famous one, the Chicago Bulls lose the coin toss and they don't get Magic. The Lakers win the coin toss and get Magic.
Well, and then you had, I believe it was the 84 draft, the Trailblazers lost out on Hakeem Olajuwon via a coin flip, and that was the last one where they're like, we got to change that. Yeah. This is madness to do it this way, and there's a lot of people out there who said if Houston had picked second and Portland had picked first, Houston would have taken Michael Jordan, and they would not have gone with Tim Bowie as the Trailblazers did.
Yeah.
So it's
on the what ifs, you could also go this. Let's say the Bulls win the coin toss, they get Magic, Lakers stay okay to not very good, and they draft Michael Jordan a few years later.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's one of those games you can play, and it's I like to reserve those for what I call NB August, when we have nothing going on.
Right.
Then we get in there. But yeah, I mean, it is interesting. So think about last year's draft, where Cooper Flagg considered an all-time prospect, or Victor Wembanyama the year before, 2 years before that, an all-time prospect. What you would imagine the teams, if it was just worst record drafts first, how bad teams would have tried to be. At that point, if you weren't playing for the championship, you're probably going to be. I don't know how many teams would have been pushing 10 wins in those seasons, because they would have been really trying hard, put themselves in a spot. I think in general, they've done a pretty good job with the teams that, like the LA Clippers, for example. If there was no play-in tournament, with the way they started out their season this year, they probably would have said, just forget it, right? Bottom it out, and even though we don't have our draft pick, there's nothing to play for this year. There's no reason to even try. With the play-in tournament, it's least, all right, let's get in the play-in tournament. We'll win our way through there. Or like the Charlotte Hornets, who are trying to win their way through the play-in tournament and into the playoffs. Those are all things we get to see happen now. And in this case with these teams here, I think they've done a pretty good job with the flattened lottery odds. I think there's just a few more tweaks to go, and maybe you do have to get a lot more aggressive with finding teams for pulling what are clearly shenanigans. As far as like, hey, wait a minute, you never put your starters back in the game when you were in the midst of blowing a double-digit lead. You never called a timeout. Like, we all know what Utah's doing, but on the flip side, like, where do you draw the line with letting a coach his team the way he feels they need to be coached? It's just such a tricky spot.
Are you okay with what the Grizzlies are doing?
Yeah, I think the Grizzlies are playing it out, fairly, straightforward. I think, they, we'll see. I mean, if we come out of the All-Star break and we're still, Cedric Howard sitting every other game and things like that, I'm going to question, all right, is there an injury here or is there not? Like, what are we doing with this? But I think for the most part, they're playing it pretty straightforward. Unfortunately, you guys know better than most, the guys who are out, like, for the most part, they have legit injuries, and they're out. Like, they're, Brandon Clark, Zach Edey, John Morant, they've got long-term injuries. Santi Aldama has been dealing with a real injury. Walter Clayton Jr., we have no reason to say he's dealing with a, hopefully minor injury. So I have no real problem with the Grizzlies kind of playing it out the way they are. And if guys are feeling anything and it's legit, you shouldn't push them to play. I think they're for lack of a better term, they're treating this very ethically down the stretch here.
Yeah. Luckily or unluckily for the Grizzlies, they have no problem. They have no need to make up injuries. The injuries just find a way to happen in Memphis. You mentioned Utah. Obviously, everybody's talking about what they've been doing, not playing any of their star players in the fourth quarter over the last couple of games. I thought it was funny. You talk about, like, everyone talking about tanking and almost acting like it's this new thing. Everyone was so mad at Utah when they were playing their guys, but then not playing them in the fourth quarter. But then today, when Jaren Jackson Jr., when it's listed that he's going to miss the rest of the season with an injury, everybody was mad at that too. I mean, they're going to tank one way or the other. I mean, can we just be happy with something and not hate on everything?
Yeah, it's funny. I one of my favorite movies of all time. Me and my dad, the classic National Lampoon's Vacation, and they're visiting Uncle Eddie. And he's making the hamburger helper, and they're like, no meat in this, and he does just fine by himself. Right? The Jazz were doing just fine by themselves. Yeah. Like, right? They're not. They weren't winning very many games anyway, so I think they were going to tank. And the thing that really upset me today with the Jaren Jackson Jr. news, because what he was announced to be out with, I'd never heard of. So I immediately went, I looked it up and did some Googling and saw, okay, it's a tumor. It's a benign tumor, most likely, but it's still something that can cause problems because if it's located in a joint, which it is for him in his knee, it can cause all these issues long term. So you're best to get it dealt with. But then the number of people who used it as a way to get jokes off about tanking or a way to get their take off about how awful it is, the NBA product stinks and the Jazz are ruining basketball and all these things, without taking even a second to think about Jaren Jackson Jr. has a tumor on his knee. This is, the number of things that you can go wrong with anytime you cut into a person's body are, countless. And I'm sure he will be fine. I'm sure he will recover fine and he'll be great. But you don't have surgeries just to have surgery. No. They just wanted to sit him. They'd say he's got a sore back. Or, he rolled an ankle and he's out. And, we've seen this over the year. It always used to be flu-like symptoms was the way you sat guys out when you didn't want to play them. Now that has kind of a negative connotation with the way the world is, so they don't really use that one. They would have come up with any number of ways to get him out. And I just was, there was not even a moment's thought for, hey, this guy's got to have a surgery, like a real surgery that's going to take him a while to recover from. And if I'm Utah, I'm looking at it and saying, hey, if we have this surgery right now, you know what? He'll be ready to go at the start of training camp, and we'll be ready for next season when we fully intend to be pretty good. Why make him play another 2 months and then have surgery, and then potentially he's not ready to go at the start of camp and the start of next season? It just is, I think we're so quick to rush to judgment and get off, fire off a joke or a hot take that we don't take a moment to actually think. These are real people. These are humans involved in these decisions. And anytime anybody has a surgery, it's not a no big deal kind of thing. Even if they play it off as that, it's still a pretty big deal.
And Keith, the anti-NBA hot takery, it really hits the pinnacle Sunday with people that haven't watched 30 seconds all year being experts on Sunday over the All-Star game.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, it's. I like to say, NFL fan is here to tell us how bad this game stinks and how they never even watch. But yet you're telling us how bad it is? Like, it's like any number of other things that we won't discuss here, where people like to tell you how awful it all is, and then proceed to tell you that's why I don't watch. And it's like, okay, well then you don't know. Your opinion is completely discounted because you just told me you're not paying attention. And it's, I mean, no matter how this plays out this weekend, good, bad, or indifferent, people are gonna hate on it. And it's also it always makes me laugh when NFL fans, more than any other fan base, they like to remind you, hey, football. We get it, right? It's the most popular sport in the country. Everyone understands. No one's fighting and arguing that. But they want you to know, and they like to make sure football teams would never ever tank. Like the Raiders didn't, purposely lose 1 million games down the stretch of this season. Like I don't know, what are we doing? I mean, I've watched, those down years for the Patriots where they were playing third string guys off the practice squad in the last handful of games of the season, and it's just, it's ridiculous. The NHL had to put in rules where you have to have X percentage of the cap active for each game to avoid tanking. Major League Baseball completely changed their draft rules so teams weren't engineering draft position. It to suggest that teams don't do this. The only way truly to combat this, in my opinion, is it's never going to happen in my lifetime, probably never going to be in North American pro sports, is go to a promotion relegation system like we see in European sports, where if you're bad, you get knocked down an entire league. But it's just not going to happen because our clubs of 30 to 32 billionaires are not going to want to be in a second-level league, and we don't have years of history behind that being the way we do it. And even when you have years of history, as we saw in high-level European soccer, the biggest clubs still tried to break away and form their own thing that eventually all got torn apart and shot down. But it is, it's just is funny that a lot of people who don't actually care are going to have a whole lot of opinions about the NBA.
And Keith, I never brought it up. I think it occurred right after the new calendar year. It went everywhere. It went very viral on Twitter. And I am not at all suggesting that it was racial. I'm just suggesting that it was stereotypical and how dumb being stereotypical that it can be. Did both of y'all, either of y'all, see the video of the little kid hockey league that they all dropped the gloves and fought?
I did not.
It was right after the first of the year, and everybody on Twitter liked it, made a crack about it, raising the kids the right way, whatever it is. And I thought, let's change little kid hockey place in wherever, northern Michigan, I think it was, to Sylacauga, Alabama, 8-year-old Little League football, and they get into a fight. Or in Memphis, 8 or 9-year-old little basketball, and they get in a fight. I don't think Twitter would be saying that was cute.
No, I mean, we saw it this week, right, with the Pistons and Hornets getting into it. A lot of the comment of, these guys are all thugs, and, the coded language that people use, and the idea of these guys should be suspended for the year, and some were even saying this is Isaiah Stewart's third time starting a fight. He should be kicked out of the league for life. And yet those are the same people, they're going to cheer about how, did you see those two hockey guys fight 6 times in one game?
Yeah.
And it's just what we have decided is okay in some sports, not okay in others. And that's why, and I'm sure I am guilty of it at times too. I tried very hard to be very careful with the words I use as far as things, because, some of it is just, you're not thinking when you're talking about things in certain ways, but there's a lot of coded things in there. And, the league I thought was fairly just in the way they punished the guys on both sides of that fight. And, they move on and it'll be, it is what it is. It just, it does get a little tiresome that everything has to be, a chance for, oh, hey, let me hop up here on my pulpit and preach to everybody about how awful everything is.
And this weekend, we'll take the cake. Keith, Bryant and I made a vow when we brought you on, and you violated. We weren't going to mention the NFL to you today.
No, it's okay. It's
good? You're good?
Yeah, no, I really am.
Okay.
It's funny. We were talking about it, and I was, for a while, I mean, this probably says a lot about me. I was the kind of person, when they lost the Super Bowls to the Giants, you didn't want to talk to me for, a week, 2 weeks, and I went into a real dark place for a while after those games. And in this one, maybe it's just I've grown up and matured. Maybe it's just been a while, but I was disappointed. But I looked at it as, nobody expected them to be there. And I also, I've seen them win 6 Super Bowls. The team that was a laughingstock of the NFL for a lot of my childhood has won 6 Super Bowls. I don't really have anything to complain about. And if I did, no one wants to hear it anyway.
Well, I guess that is part of it. Keith, I wasn't going to ask you this question, and then you brought up flu-like symptoms, and it made me think about it, and so I'm going to ask it now. Darren Peterson, pretty much all season at Kansas, has been in and out of the lineup. For the most part, it's been the cramping issue. We always hear about the cramping with him. But this last game against Arizona, he was out for flu-like symptoms. Now, I'm going to believe if Kansas says he was out for flu-like symptoms, I'm going to believe
Bill Self's mad over
it. No, he definitely is. But I'm going to believe him that it was flu-like symptoms. But also, on the flip side of that, if I knew that everybody was running wild with this cramping thing, I would also probably like to switch it up and just say, oh, he was sick. There was no cramping issue in that game. How concerned do you think these NBA front offices are that will be at the top of the draft when it comes to Darren Peterson and his health? Do you think this is a real issue? I know some people are saying, well, he just doesn't care. He's ready to go to the NBA. What do you make of this whole Darren Peterson situation?
It's a great question, and it really is dependent on the team you've talked to. Mm-hmm. I talk to teams that are, we got to dig more into this and find out what it's about. When we get him in, the interview room with us, because let's face it, he's not going to do workouts like that. He's not going to do anything that he's not required to do at the combine. That's just not what top picks do. So what they were, when we get a chance to really talk to this kid, we'll find out, what was going on with that. And NBA teams invest a lot of money with the draft. It's funny. The biggest thing I've learned over the years about scouting for the draft is we can all, you and I can watch all the same games and tape and film that they can. It's the intel gathering. It's, the amount of time they spend on campuses. And in this situation specifically, they'll be talking to the trainers, to the ball boys, to the team managers at Kansas to find out, hey, how does he treat you? What's he really like? What happens at practice? They love to get into a practice to see what's a guy like in that, sense when it's not, in a packed gym with 20,000 people and the lights are on and he's on TV. And so there are teams that are very concerned, that are like, we got to find out what's going on with this. And I can tell you, I've talked to a couple teams where it is, this kid doesn't need to play in college basketball. The comp you keep getting is Kyrie Irving, who was out legitimately when he broke his foot at Duke, but it was Kyrie Irving didn't need to play another minute. Everybody knew he was the number 1 pick, and it didn't really matter. So now, is it going to knock Darren Peterson off someone's board, or knock him down so far that it's here we are. Now he's 5th pick in the draft or anything? Absolutely not. Everybody I've talked to has him 1, 2, and a couple are he's probably finished 1, 2, maybe 3 if Cam Boozer can really get it going, and most teams seem to be, he's either 1 or 2 with AJ DeBonta in the other spot, and it's just an interesting thing because that's what you want to find out is what's going on with this guy. And I did have one team mention to me, I don't want this to be another Markelle Fultz where it started to turn into, does this kid really want it? Where are we going? And we all kind of saw how that went there. But I can also tell you there were questions asked about Jaylen Brown about that, he's awfully smart. Is he going to want it basketball-wise? And I think those questions have more than been answered that he wants it plenty on the court.
Keith, it was the best Mike Vrabel story I heard all last week in the run-up to the Super Bowl. And he said after he signed with the Patriots, one of the first things in the courtship of signing him, getting away from the Steelers with Bill Belichick, 2 questions Bill Belichick asking about every player. Was he a captain of the team in college or in the NFL through free agent? If you get them free agent or in high school, and how do they treat the managers?
Yep, 100%. Yeah, I mean, those are. It's like anything else in the world. It's how you treat those that are beneath you in a hierarchy says more about you than any way you'll interact with anybody that's on equal footing or above you. Like it is, those people are easy to be nice to because in some respects you're looking for something from them. But with the people who are, your support folks in the world, and it matters. I can tell you when we talk to guys coming in, one of the things that we'll tell them is, hey, you thank people. You talk to, when you go in to do a workout with a team, especially if you're a guy who's like uncertain about your draft status, when we're advising them on things, you go in there and you thank the trainer for getting you ready. You thank the person who's rebounding for you. You thank everybody who's in there because the teams will notice it, right? And then ideally you're doing it just because you're doing it, because that's who you are. But you better make sure you're doing it if that doesn't come natural to you.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's gonna be interesting to see how this Darren Peterson situation plays out. Because you're right. I mean, when he's on the floor playing, he's clearly, I think, the number one pick. But man, it is a lot of questions around him. But as always, Keith, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy your week. Enjoy this All-Star break, and we'll talk to you again next Thursday.
I appreciate it. Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks, Keith.
Thank you, Keith, so much. Thanks so much. Now, with Darren Peterson, don't you think there are a lot of people trying to spoil the waters to get him out of there because that'd make their advancement in the NCAA tournament easier?
Yeah, well, no, absolutely.
Running into KU.
Yeah, look, everybody in every team in the Big 12, they're certainly praying, hey, don't you don't need to play anymore. You've got it good. So it's a weird situation. I really don't know what to make of it.
And one of the odd things, the night of the slow speed chase, the night of the O.J. Simpson slow speed chase, Joe Ferguson, his teammate with the Buffalo Bills, was on CNN Live with Larry King. Joe Ferguson played at Arkansas, and he was crushed. He said, this is not close to the person I knew. I can't believe this is happening. And he said he was better to the locker room attendants, the clubbies, the little guy, managers. He said he was the best guy in the league to those type of people. He said, this is not the OJ I know.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, you heard a lot of stories about that, or about OJ after that happened. Of just a great guy, and just who would have ever thought this would happen? So
Keith Smith was with us on our Sissy's Log Cabin guest line. Sissy's Log Cabin, the official jeweler of the hometown teams like the Grizzlies and like the Tigers. They're pulling hard tonight for the Tigers. Next home game, we'll have Tiger tickets. Compliments of Sissy's Log Cabin. They've been so great to us in so many ways, including Tiger football and basketball tickets, the Mid-South's largest selection of one-of-a-kind jewelry, engagement rings, wedding bands. The big game is really coming up for them. Coming up for them a week from this Saturday. This Saturday is Valentine's. Bryant, you better get right for Valentine's.
I'm right.
Everybody better out there. It started out at that 9,000 square foot store in Laurelwood with expanded lines for Rolex, for guys and gals, Cartier, diamonds, and more. The gals, it's on them to take care of the right guy in their life too. Since 1970, with all the great locations across the Mid-South, the official jeweler for the Memphis Grizzlies, and at FedEx Forum with the floor seat lounge. Unsurpassed value, exceptional service, expansive selection, and an extraordinary shopping experience because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
Yeah, Brett, I'm right. I don't know if I'm that right yet.
Getting close.
We're getting close to being that right. But
yes,
we love our friends over there at Sissy's Log Cabin. But let's get to another break. When we return, we got to talk some college basketball. A wild night last night in the SEC. All road teams winning. Just a lot of other stories, including Jerome Tang saying pretty much nobody deserves to wear the jersey. He does. So a very weird night in college basketball. We'll talk about it. We'll do that next on Sports Time.
Not only can you listen to your favorite shows on Sports 56, you can also watch video of the shows live on Twitter and YouTube. Watch and listen every day
at Sports 56 WHBQ. Looking for sports in all the wrong places? Try the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland's Town Square. Fun, exciting, friendly, and comfortable with wall-to-wall TVs. 24 taps for all your beers, including $3 domestic and $5 craft pints on Mondays. Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 happy hour. Music bingo Tuesdays. Daily specials and online ordering. The Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland's Town Square. Highway 70. Check Facebook for daily specials and weekend music at the Owner's Box.
This Valentine's Day, skip the expected and give something that truly lasts. Time to slow down, recharge, and feel cared for. A Gold Salon Spa gift card is effortless, thoughtful, and always the right choice. Opening the door to calm moments, confidence-boosting care, and everyday luxury that goes well beyond February 14th. Because the most meaningful gifts aren't things. They're how you make someone feel. Gould's gift cards are available online or in store. Gould's, a legacy of style, care, and community since 1932.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys, Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Incorporated, Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home at Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
This traffic report brought to you by City Center Liquor just off Highway 70 in Lakeland. Local, friendly, and always fully stocked. For a 5% discount, tell them Sports 56 sent you.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Cleanup continues on this crash 40 westbound in Canada Road. It's affecting the traffic flow in both directions. Actually, in the eastbound lanes where it's already very heavy this time of the afternoon. 40 eastbound is now slow approaching Canada Road. Keep that in mind if you're headed out in this section of Shelby County. 40 west at one point was backed up from Canada Road all the way into Fayette County. Hey, Weimer's Jewelry is your Valentine's Day headquarters. Stop by them. See them right now at Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford and Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
When you hear the sound coming, hear the drums drumming, I want you to join together with the band.
Back in Sports Time, Bryant and Brett with you. We got to talk some college basketball as an eventful night around the SEC last night. I mentioned it before we went to a break. Every single road team in the SEC that played last night got a victory. So it was a good night to be on the road. That included Alabama on the road down in Oxford, a 93-74 win for the Crimson Tide. The other results, though, Florida, a big-time 20-point win on the road against Georgia. Tennessee, a nice win over Mississippi State. And then Missouri, a 1-point win on the road against Texas A&M. So a fun night in the SEC last night.
And Tuesday night, both roadies.
Oh, is that
won.
right?
Yeah.
Wow, holy cow.
Going on the road was really good. It won't last till Saturday because Florida hosting Kentucky. That's the big one on Saturday, 2 o'clock on ABC. I think Florida should win that. And then Arkansas trying to avenge the loss down on the Plains to Auburn. They're at home at Bud Walton Arena.
Yeah, some good games this weekend around the or in the SEC. You got those two games that you just mentioned. Texas A&M on the road against Vanderbilt. What do those two teams look like on Saturday? So I think some fun games on Saturday in the SEC.
We were just visiting with Keith Smith about about his Patriots, his beloved Patriots, and he wasn't taking it very hard because they did. They had a great year. And during the break, I told you that a lot of the conversation yesterday and last night was the first time I got to see a lot of Oxford, Ole Miss football friends since getting home from the heartbreaking loss in the Fiesta Bowl. And I had several would ask me, and they would ask it kind of in pain tones, have you gotten over the Fiesta Bowl? Well, I have.
Yeah.
Because it was a great year.
It was.
Third wasn't so bad.
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, it was phenomenal.
But we are zero-sum, aren't we?
Yeah, no, we
but
are.
Here's one sport that we're not about. I still say the worst loss in sport is to lose that Elite Eight game and not make it to the Final Four. Because most of us basketball types, sports fan types, we remember a Final Four year.
Sure.
You can name a year, and I pretty easily can tell you all four teams that were there.
Sure.
That's an accomplishment. I think being in the Final Four in college football was really good, and finishing third in AP was really good.
Definitely.
But basketball is one of the few sports, Final Four, way to go. Of course, you get more if you cut the nets down and have one shining moment.
Absolutely.
Runner-up's a little very lonely.
Yeah. No, it definitely is. It definitely is.
But losing on Saturday's not that lonely.
No. And it is something I kind of hate about college basketball. It's not really college basketball's fault because you're right, we do it in pretty much every sport. But I mean, I think you can have an unbolievable season.
We're most cruel to that Super Bowl loser.
No, we are. We
that's the one. I mean, we're this week we've talked about New England.
Well,
they had a tough day.
It was a tough day. And it was tough. I mean, I know they kept winning.
But they're not the Arizona Cardinals.
No, certainly not. Certainly not. But I think it felt like throughout the playoffs, like it was bubbling to, okay, when they lose,
the dam was going to break.
Yeah, it's going to be time to rip them.
Yeah.
And then not only did they lose, but they lost in that fashion.
In every area that we were scared of. The left side of the offensive line with the two rookies.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, it was really bad.
They didn't even turn around and yell, he's on the way a couple times.
It was ugly, to say the least. Very, very ugly. But, hey, you're right. I mean, when you lose that Super Bowl, very, very different than, hey, if you just won it. And a lot of times it just kind of comes down to
I wanted to win it all. I thought, I really did. It was not red and blue shaded glasses. I thought it was Ole Miss's year, and they were going to win the college football national championship. But I'm pretty good with third.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think you should be. I think it's a great season.
I think you give me a shot now in the semis next year.
Yeah. Look, I don't think we should be so much zero sum. I'm with you. Like I think teams can have a great year and make it to the
Major League Baseball. Is it rough on the defeated team? Not as bad as that Super Bowl.
It's certainly not as bad as Super Bowl.
NBA Finals isn't?
No. And that's a little different than certainly the Super Bowl. And I guess baseball a little different because you have
you've won all those
7-game series.
Yeah,
it wouldn't, and even just in the finals. I mean, you have the 7-game series. So I mean, you can win a couple games and it look very competitive. With Super Bowl, it's just one game, and
Omaha's cruel.
Omaha is cruel.
If you don't have the dog pile,
that's right.
You're persona non grata.
That's right. No, it is very cruel. So it's interesting. I haven't really thought much about that.
And in individual sports,
no, definitely.
The runner up in a major, we forget about.
No, yeah, it's heartbreaking. I mean, it really is the difference of if you are front page headlines
and life changing.
Oh, it is.
Think of a couple of Chris DeMarco not being able to finish and how it changes his life.
Yeah.
Appearance fees, sponsorships.
No, you're right. I mean, it is. I haven't really thought much about that, but you're right. It is the difference just between.
And I think I surprised a couple people. It hurt, but great year.
Great year, and
as I said, my favorite college football year of my life.
No, I don't think should have been a question. I mean, I think it absolutely
13-2.
It's insane. It's incredible. So yeah, I would say
we may do our first. Landon, I haven't told you. I'm sorry. We may do our first way too early college football bracket tomorrow. We're waiting on Trinidad news though to do it.
Okay.
We will do it after we get resolution there.
Okay.
Because that would change brackets, wouldn't it?
It'd certainly change brackets, I would say. Yeah, it's going. Don't hold me to whatever I put together for tomorrow, because it's going to change a lot by the time we get to the football season.
Sure can. You know, we got the P6 this year.
That's right.
With
Yeah,
the Pac-12.
right. Yeah.
Did you see their schedule release?
Yeah, I did not.
I can't figure it out. At the
Really?
end, they're flexing games.
Oh wow! How about that? Okay.
Might be repeat games.
Huh? Interesting. Yeah, no, I missed that. I need to go look at it, but I missed
We
that.
know who his non-power rep is going to be, don't we?
North Dakota State.
NDSU from the Mountain
Are
West.
they eligible first year?
I don't know.
I think they're applying for it.
Probably, but I don't know.
As far as I know, I don't think they can make the offseason.
I don't think they.
I don't think they can either.
Sorry, I thought I was gonna get some laughs from that, but I just got shot down and told how the rules worked. Thanks, guys.
It was funny.
No, it didn't feel like
Good job, Brian. Good joke.
What's worse, playing for a laugh or playing for the pat on the back and Tiger Bank?
Oh, I
playing for a
just
laugh.
feel so beat down right now. I mean,
Playing for a
both
laugh
of y'all
is
were
way
like,
worse.
I don't think North Dakota State can get into the postseason. The joke there was because we knew he was gonna say Hawaii. I mean, what are we doing?
Brad,
Well, hey, don't give anything
I think
away.
I told you the story. Our good friend David Basham was producing, me and Rob, and I set it up before. John Wilfong was our Tiger basketball analyst, great guy. And I set it up during the break. I said, "Oh, Rob, I got the best question ever for him," and I laid it all out. Well, there was a little technical issue, and John really didn't hear it. Kind of asked for clarify that for me. And Bash and Rob, they had to leave the building. They were laughing so hard.
That is great. Yeah. Well, I didn't get those type of.
Speaking of David Basham, I saw where the Seahawks coach went to high school with Maria Taylor, the TV sports journalist, and she presented the trophy. She did the trophy. And Bash always told me that he went to high school with her. So he had to be in there with Mike McDonald.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Wow. That is incredible. Wow.
And the Uptons went there. It was a galaxy of stars at this high school.
Where was the high school?
In Atlanta.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. That is that's a
But
crazy.
Maria
school.
Taylor presenting the trophy to a high school classmate.
That's crazy. That is insane. That's such a cool story. But yeah, there were a lot of cool stories from the Super Bowl, but that one.
But your joke was
definitely
funny,
up there.
It really was.
I didn't feel like y'all thought it was funny. Last night, a weird story. First off, a weird game. Kansas State and Cincinnati. Cincinnati, both teams having really, really bad seasons. Last week. Cincinnati's coach Wes Miller apologizing to fans
after I listened to his coaching show.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yes, but had a little like fan VIP area, and was apologizing to fans after the game, saying this isn't good enough. I understand it's not good enough, and y'all should be mad. Well, they go and play Kansas State last night, beat Kansas State. After the game, Jerome Tang in his post game said, "This was embarrassing. These dudes do not deserve to wear the uniform. There will be very few of them in it next year. It is just ridiculous. We have practice at 6 a.m.
Can you still do that?
Guess so.
Because don't they have a certain hour?
No. Yeah, but you can practice whenever, I guess. I mean,
that's true.
Doesn't sound like he's too happy with his team.
He's not.
And as we know, PJ Haggerty on that team, he's scoring a lot of points over for them.
Getting his shots.
He sure is, but man,
that's what he wanted.
That team is, and unfortunately, I like Jerome Tang. Might be a lot of players in different jerseys. He might be in a different jersey next year.
He sure could.
I don't know if Kansas State, another team.
He was the coach of.
Where he came from.
That had the upsets.
I
see it Fairleigh Dickinson?
No, he was not.
No,
that was Tobin Anderson. Let's see, Kansas State. Jerome Tang. He was an assistant at Kansas State, I believe, or an assistant somewhere.
But what was his job that got him the big break?
It was an assistant job to get him the Kansas State job.
Okay.
This is his first head coaching job. And I remember. I can't remember now what staff he was on. He was on a good staff. I mean, that staff, whatever staff, he wasn't Kansas State staff, I don't think. He was on a loaded staff and then came over. Baylor. He was on the Baylor staff. I thought so. He was on Baylor staff.
That won it.
That's right. And then got taken over, got the Kansas State job as his first head coaching job.
Pretty heavy booing in the building, wasn't it?
Yeah, fans wearing
bags over
their head. It was an ugly scene last night, and it got a little uglier post game with his comments. So don't know what Kansas State's schedule looks like the rest of the way.
It felt like Chris Beard was going to blow last night too.
No, it looked like it on TV. How about this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 losses in a row for Kansas State. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of their last 11 losses. And Saturday, you get Houston.
Not good.
On the road at Houston.
Yeah, and
it's tough.
Did Haggerty have a better offer from here? Do we know that, or we just all say it?
I really don't know. I don't know. I don't know what any of that money looked like. So I don't know who had a better offer.
Ever know?
I don't think so.
And I think we're adding a lot of zeros out here on some of these offers. It's a lot of money out there, though.
It is a lot of money. So I don't know who had the better offer. I know there was a lot around it with NBA teams telling him he needed to play more point guard. I don't know if that's happened at Kansas State. So it was weird.
We could have done that here, couldn't he?
He could have. So I don't know what went into it.
Landers Ford, our title sponsor of this hour. They're the #1 Ford dealership in the Mid-South. Landers Ford, your trusted destination for a vehicle that fits any price point and any lifestyle. Seamless shopping experience, from vehicle choice to financing and service. From the Ford Escape to the rugged F-150 to the adventurous Bronco, every vehicle built Ford tough. The Ford F-150, America's best-selling truck by 10 miles. SUVs like the Ford Explorer, the Ford Expedition, the Ford Escape, the Ford Bronco, and all the EVs and hybrids. Transparency and professionalism and long-term support and friendship, part of the many hallmarks at Landers Ford in Collierville. Oil changes, tires rotated. Go online and schedule when it suits you the best. It'll be done quickly to meet your very busy schedule. Landers Ford, active in our community. They're in Collierville at 2082 West Poplar Avenue. Or you can go online to LandersFordMemphis.com and find out much more. If it doesn't say Landers, you paid too much.
Brad, again, I haven't watched any Kansas State. I don't know if P.J. Haggerty's playing point guard. 3.5 turnovers per game right now.
That's too many.
State. 3.3 last year. He averaged up to 3.5 this year, but obviously
dribble was always a little high.
It was. I'm assuming still is. So yeah, I don't know what's going on over there with Kansas State, but we need to get to another break, and when we return, it'll be time for Big Number of the Day.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Unlock your new go-to spot, Codes Dispensary in Steele, Missouri, just over an hour from Memphis. When you're ready for a legal, reliable option, they're right up the road. Explore the full menu of top-shelf products in-store and online. Short on time? Order ahead and cruise through the drive-thru for a quick pickup. Stack rewards while you stock up with Club Codes. Earn points for every dollar spent. Codes Dispensary, now open in Steele, Missouri. Supreme cannabis that's worth the drive. Learn more at CodesDispensary.com. That's CodesDispensary.com.
Air. We breathe it naturally. Simple, right? Not so fast. The air you breathe could be hazardous to your health. Don't guess. Be sure with a phone call to the Memphis Mold Inspector, the only licensed mold assessor in the Mid-South. Call the Memphis Mold Inspector to check the air quality inside your home and office. Protect babies, pets, new homes, old homes, employees, friends, loved ones, and you. Just call 901-292-7788 for clean air and peace of mind. 901-292-7788 for the Memphis Mold Inspector.
Most people in radio commercials talk really fast. But we made this one for RV owners. Progressive knows they like the slower pace of RV life, like this commercial. And they know Progressive will protect their RV at a fair price with discounts. Now here comes the fast part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Since 1948, in the alley, the Rendezvous. I'm with John Burgos. John, what's going on in the Rendezvous?
Brett, after 76 years, we've decided to expand our product line. Anyone who's tasted our ribs is familiar with our vinegar-based It's now available in a 32-ounce jar. It's so good to baste or marinate all meats. I even put a little bit on turnip greens. Something we've been using at the restaurant or at our house has been the Greek seasoning. My father was a cook, but my mother was a chef, and she was the one that put Greek seasoning on everything from a Mediterranean diet or a steak. My mom used it on soup, salad, veggies, fish, any meats. It's a great seasoning and a flavor enhancer. My brother Nick figured out salt and pepper was more than just McCormick's and Morton's. He's come up with a perfect blend we use to coat our shoulders and our brisket, and he used to make it for his friends as Christmas gifts, and they loved it. All these products are available at the Rendezvous or online for shipping as gifts and in many grocery stores. And if they're not in your favorite grocery store, ask your grocer to stock it.
A beloved family affair and still going strong since 1948, The Rendezvous.
Running a commercial plumbing or HVAC company isn't easy. You're driving revenue, managing payroll, coordinating marketing, juggling projects, and keeping customers satisfied all at once. You need software that keeps up. It's time to upgrade to Service Titan, the all-in-one solution built to help companies like yours run smarter, grow faster, and scale with confidence. See how the most successful contractors are doing it today with Service Titan. Visit ServiceTitan.com to learn more. That's ServiceTitan.com.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Big Daddy.
Hello, Big Brown. It's a guy, he wants to be big, then he gets big, he doesn't want to be big anymore, then he gets small, but the suit's too big.
Big Daddy.
The big boy. What up, big guy? I think she's trying to pull a fast one on Big Daddy.
The big number of the day.
Well, Brett, my big number comes from the NBA. It is the number 20, and it has to do with our old friend Jaren Jackson Jr. Jaren Jackson Jr. is the only player in NBA history to score 20 or more points in each of his first 3 games with an NBA team, while also playing no more than 26 minutes in any of those games. So Jaren Jackson Jr. making the most of his time on the court in a Jazz uniform, but it was not a lot of time on the court, not playing any fourth quarters since being acquired by the Jazz, and now we know with the news earlier today, he will not play the rest of the season. But you look at these games, and what he was able to do looked really, really good. And you know, it's just, I mean, you know, he wasn't going to play much for the rest of the season, but I do hate that he is now going to have to miss with this surgery. And hopefully, you know, like it seems like most people are saying, should be very minor, and he'll be back next year. I'm curious to see what this Jazz team looks like next season.
It's going to end at 48 games played this year for Jaren, 3 in Utah, 45 in Memphis. Last year, 74. The end of the 24 season, he played in 66. The year before that, 63. 2022, 21-22. Remember? Mm-hmm. Boy, that was the halcyon days of I thought they were going to go to the NBA Finals. Yeah. He played in 78 after playing in only 11 games to complete the 21 season. His first 2 years, 58 and 57. Now with 455 career games played.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was really reliable for this Grizzlies team for the most part over his career, especially this year. I mean, we talk so much about, you know, guys being in and out of the lineup, and it felt like most every night Jaren Jackson Jr. was out there playing for the Grizzlies. So, you know, I give him a lot of credit. And now, you know, we'll see what his Jazz career looks like when it really gets going next year. I think, you know, something that we'll probably talk about more with Keith Smith, because I'd love to get more thoughts from him on it. But, you know, what does Utah look like next year? Now that they've made the trade for Jaren Jackson Jr., they've indicated at the trade deadline and even going into the offseason that they don't want to trade any of their stars. They're ready to start making a move. what does that look like next year? It feels like they're going to have a really good pick this year. What do they add in the draft, and kind of does the Jazz become a threat in the West? Maybe not to win it all, but to kind of move ahead of the Grizzlies and try to take one of those spots in the playoffs.
My big number is 29. That's the number of games the Grizzlies will have after the break. They are 20-33. 22 wins was the low mark in Memphis. That's been done 3 times, to end the 18 season, to end the 08 season, and to end the 07 season. Back-to-back 22 wins in 07 and 08 to end those years. I think the Grizzlies will end up winning about 26, 27 games. Where does that land you?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Is that 7 or 8 draft pick?
I would say so. And then you just
it's
hope
not top 5.
No, but that's when you hope
it better be as deep as we think.
Yeah. When you hope the ping pong balls go in your favor.
And another deal may get you improved draft status.
Could. I don't see many of those teams in the top 4 or 5 being very willing, depending on what the deal looks like.
Bring in other teams.
No, certainly, but
other players.
It'd have to be a pretty big deal for any of these guys. It'd have to be a pretty big deal for I think one of these teams to move off one of those top picks. But yeah, I think the Grizzlies have plenty to go out there and try to offer and try to be a part of deals to try to get that type of return. So we're going to be talking a lot about the draft and a lot about where this team is going after the season.
And how deep this draft is.
I think
isn't there a second first-round pick for the Grizzlies?
That's right. Yeah, about around I think right now it's around 15 or so from Orlando in that trade for Desmond Bane. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of talk around it because the Grizzlies have an opportunity, depending on if they just stick with these 2 picks or if they make a move, to potentially add 2 first-rounders and a second-rounder. They've got a second-round pick. So it will be a very busy draft and combine and lead up to it, and we'll be talking a lot about it and trying to figure out who will be those pieces going into next season.
Well, you make a good point. Those teams won't be too in a hurry to make a deal allow the Grizzlies to get in front of them when they've been tanking at a prolific nature.
Yeah, exactly. We
didn't do all this losing to trade it to you.
And so maybe, depending on who you talk to, if you can tell them, if you want to move up to 5, let's just say, or 6. Now, the Grizzlies right now, just based on records, are slotted at 8. If you wanted to move up to 5 or 6, and you say we'll give you our 8 and our 15, and maybe throw in somebody else or something else to just try to move up a couple spots, and I could see a team saying sure, but I think going from 8 to 4, certainly 8 to 3, would be a lot different and would be a lot tougher of a move.
Lottery night's going to be everything.
It's going to be must watch television. These teams are going to be lined up and praying that they get some lottery luck, and Grizzlies will be right there in that mix, and hopefully let's sim the lottery once on Tankathon and see. Grizzlies fall 1 spot down to 9. That's not what we want to see when the real draft lottery rolls around. So,
what are a couple of names that would get you?
Looks like Nate Mint is the name that was just kind of there.
Very young, very frail. Have to be very patient.
Yeah, that would be more of a patient. You got LeBaron Philon, who you saw last night, 1 spot ahead. Braylon Mullins from UConn, 1 spot behind. So you'd be in the range for a couple of those guys. This Tankathon has Darius Acuff at 19.
No way.
If the Grizzlies are at 9 and Darius Acuff has not been taken off the board, I know who the Grizzlies are picking at number 9. They better take Darius Acuff, depending on who some of those other point guards are and if they've been taken, because I think Darius Acuff is a really nice player. But lots going to happen before then. We talked about this is a guy whose name could be called in the top 4 or 5. Caleb Wilson from North Carolina. The news came out just a couple minutes before we started the show that he has a fracture in his hand. He'll miss some time. No timeline yet for North Carolina on what that will look like, but getting later in the season, a guy who right now is mocked by most to be taken 4 or 5. Who knows what happens there. But we're going to get to a break here in a second. Before we do that, let me remind you it's a perfect time to head down to Olive Branch and check out Frontier Western Store. Family owned and operated since 1967, Frontier Western is your one-stop shop for the biggest brands in Western wear. They're the one-stop shop for Carhartt in the Mid-South, but they've also got you covered with plenty of other brands. When it comes to shirts, shorts, jeans, outerwear, whatever you're looking for, they've got it in stock. If you need a new pair of jeans, Frontier Western is the place you need to get to. They've got all the biggest brands from Ariat all the way down to Wrangler, and you'll love how easy it is to find the perfect size and style for you. While you're down there, check out Frontier's world-famous boot showroom. Whether it's work boots or dress boots, Frontier has you covered for the entire family with plenty of in-stock proven classics like Ariat, Dan Post, and Durango, and that's just to name a few. Frontier's pricing is lower than online and chain stores, so you know you'll be getting the best deals. Head down to 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Check out the entire selection. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Sundays, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. for Frontier Western Store. Let's go ahead and wrap up the second hour. When we return, we're talking the Tigers. Greg Gaston, he joins us next.
Y'all, it's the Mid-South Sports and Boat Show, February 20th through the 22nd at the Agri Center. Come buy your new boat and make some memories at the lake this summer with family and friends. Premier dealers showcasing the newest ski boats, pontoons, fishing boats with huge show specials. Enter your chance to win daily door prizes. It's all at the Mid-South Sports and Boat Show, February 20th through the 22nd. For more info, go to memphisboatshow.com. That's memphisboatshow.com.
At the Agri Center.
The 2025 Range Rover Sport sits right at the heart of the Land Rover lineup, offering a perfect mix of style, performance, and versatility. Smaller and more agile than a full-size Range Rover, it's a great option for everyone who wants luxury and practicality. Every model comes with 8-speed automatic transmission and all-wheel drive standard. Whether you navigate city streets or tackle rough terrain, Range Rover Sport has you covered. Every drive is powerful and breathtaking. The 2025 Range Rover Sport is the epitome of sporting luxury. Test drive one at Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City.
Mercedes-Benz Van Center Memphis has serious vans for serious work. At 4430 American Way, they are the Mid-South source for cargo, passenger, crew vans, and custom chassis. Need one or a full fleet? New or used, they've got it with fleet solutions and custom upfits. Certified techs keep you moving with fast maintenance, repairs, and a large parts inventory. Mercedes-Benz Van Center is your Sprinter Van headquarters, 901-237-9302 or sprintervans.com. Mercedes-Benz Van Center Memphis, part of the Tag Truck Center family, driven to keep you on the road.
Step up your wings game at East Coast Wings and Grill. With over 60 wing flavors and 7 heat indexes, do you have what it takes to turn the heat on your wings up to insanity? East Coast Wings and Grill is family friendly with a large variety menu to satisfy the whole bunch. Sign up today for their loyalty program and taste the rewards. For every $1 you spend, you collect a point. Earn 100 points and receive a $5 reward. Next to Lowe's off Highway 64 in Bartlett, come try America's best wings at East Coast Wings and Grill.
At Jason's Deli, you can stuff yourself full of great deli food that's healthy, fresh, and best of all, it's not expensive. Jason's Deli is all about choice. Whether you're looking for a gluten-free menu, vegetarian sandwiches, healthy kids' meals, or if you'd like to invent your sandwich via the build-your-own selections, Jason's Deli has you covered. And they only use fresh, wholesome ingredients. Choose from the club and specialty sandwiches, paninis, wraps, soups, salads, pastas, and much more. I love the cleanliness in the restaurant, the hospitality, and of course the cost. They have a huge salad bar and great soups, including Southwest chicken chili, fire roasted tortilla, organic vegetable, tomato basil, and many, many more. And if you're planning an event, their catering department is fantastic and can handle any size party. Go check out Jason's Deli's 4 locations. On Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, that's my favorite, on Germantown Parkway in Cordova, at Poplar and Highland, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch.
This traffic report is brought to you by Millington Weight Loss. For more information, call 901-436-0272.
Sports 56 traffic.
Afternoon cleanup on this wreck has been out here for quite a while now, at least a couple of hours. 40 westbound at Canada Road. They have made some progress. They did upright the truck a little bit earlier, but it spilled whatever it was carrying here. Now it's slow on 40 east and westbound at Canada Road. Midtown traffic starting to get a little bit heavier. We've had several wrecks south of town, southbound on 55 there at Rains. Hopefully we'll be out of there in just a few more minutes. Hey, Valentine's Day just around the corner. Stop by right now and shop local at Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Memphis's original sports station. We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back in Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you as we start our third and final hour on this Thursday. What's today? Thursday? Good Lord. Brett, my week has been all out of whack. Yesterday.
The snow and ice did it.
Oh, my gosh. I thought yesterday was Thursday. I was saying tomorrow was Friday. Okay, Thursday. We're in our third hour on this Thursday edition of Sports Time. I think I know where I'm at and what's going on now. But we do need to talk Tigers. They play in just a couple hours against North Texas. But we talk Tigers every single Thursday afternoon with Greg Gaston.
From the Tigers sideline, it's Tigers Talk with Memphis broadcasting legend Greg Gaston. Hear Greg weekday mornings on Sports 56 Mornings, along with Eli Savoy from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. On Twitter X at Greg_Gaston. Here's Greg with Bryant and Brett.
Greg Gaston joins us now to talk some Tigers. You can listen to him every weekday morning with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli from 7 to 10. Greg, thanks so much.
Ken Palm
tomorrow
morning.
That's right. I'm excited about it. What time for Ken Pomeroy tomorrow morning, Greg?
Ken Palm will be on at 9:05.
All right.
Good get. Way to go.
I will be listening to that. Love Ken Palm. I use it all the time. But, Greg, I know you were on the call on Sunday, the pre-Super Bowl appetizer of the Tigers and Charlotte. There was no worry, no issue there for the Tigers, an all-out rout over the 49ers. What did you make of what you saw in that performance Sunday afternoon?
Yeah, good afternoon, guys. There hasn't been that many of those this year, but certainly they'll take it from start to finish, controlled, but really the defense set the tone. They did enough things positively on the offensive side, but this was a great defensive effort. Charlotte's a much improved team from last year, but not a great team, and they really had them frustrated with what they were doing with that swarming defense. And once you frustrate a team, if they can't get over it, they're in trouble, especially on the road. So, yeah, a little bit of an easy day at the office for Memphis on Sunday.
Charlotte picked preseason last, so they've performed over that. The Tigers picked preseason first and still can be first, Greg.
That's right, Brett. I mean, they're going into a stretch right now, which is extremely important, but you guys have, I'm sure, kept up with the results, especially lately in the American Conference, and it's really bunched up at the top. There were some surprises last night, UAB going to Tulsa without AK, without two of their top four scores and winning that game. I think South Florida, to me, has kind of pushed ahead of everybody, including Memphis at this point, as being the best team in the conference, but it doesn't mean that Memphis won't be able to beat them. They'll play them twice in the regular season before it's all said and done, and who knows what will happen in the conference tournament in Birmingham. I think Tulsa certainly has a pulse because of their three-point shooting. Florida Atlantic has dealt with injuries, and until they get healthy, they're going to struggle. Other than that, these teams are all pretty much average, maybe a few that are below average, some maybe just barely above average. And there's no question about Memphis. They have been playing very well of late. They won 3 of 4 since Penny made that statement that he was going to take control of the defense from his assistant coaches. He felt like he needed a fire inside him, and that gives him that fire, having that control. And since then, they played really well defensively. So you couple that with the way Sincere Parker scoring the ball. Aaron Bradshaw is playing a lot better here over the last 6 to 8 games of the season. You got a leader in Doug McDaniel and other guys contributing. I think Memphis is in a pretty good position, but what I don't want to see tonight, even though it's a road game, it's against a team that is terrible offensively, pretty good defensively, but terrible offensively. Memphis has already beaten them once. Memphis needs to go in and make a statement against a team that's mediocre. Just beat this team, get ready to go to Logan to play the non-conference game against Utah State, and then next week it will be that tough battle in Tampa against South Florida on Thursday. But what you don't want to see after they've been playing well and I've been talking positively about them, and others have as well, is to turn around and lay an egg tonight.
Yeah, and it's going to start with Doug McDaniel and Sincere Parker, with them being relied on for the scoring. We knew Hodgson at South Florida was going to be good. Was good at Arkansas State from the Nate Oates staff at Alabama. I just wonder if he had that big a year this year, would LSU come after him, or is he waiting for maybe Nate Oates to, who knows, succeed Bill Self and he goes to Bama? But Hodgson's not stopping at South Florida. He's going to bigger jobs.
Oh, no question about that. And your scenario just brought up, there's a few dominoes that would have to fall, and we'll see what happens with Bill Self, how many more years he has. Obviously, that would be a coveted job, but then it would have to be that and that and that for him to get that opportunity. I would think that, look, South Florida says they're committing more to basketball, they're committing more to athletics. I'll believe it when I see it, although I still believe to some extent for a mid-major program, a non-power conference program, that they can be better and will be better. And I think he's turning things around. He is a really good coach, but if he gets an opportunity to go to a good Power 4 conference program, I think it could be a quick, one and done. This is his first year, right?
Yeah, first year.
Yeah, it would be a one and done. So that's a possibility. I think he's highly regarded. I loved him at Arkansas State, had a chance to call several of their games up there with him at the helm. So I like what he's doing. But hopefully for South Florida, it's not a one-and-done deal, that he can stick with them, they can commit, and I think they could be very formidable moving forward.
Yeah, and I think you're absolutely right about that. Aaron Bradshaw has been really, really good over the last month or so, really since the start of conference play. I know Penny Hardaway, after Sunday's game, talked a lot about Aaron Bradshaw was one of the players available to the media. He talked a lot about it. I know he was on y'all's broadcast, the kind of walk-off interview after the game. What are you seeing with Aaron Bradshaw right now? It feels like a lot of it is kind of rooted in confidence. Didn't have a lot of confidence coming in after really limited playing time at both Kentucky and Ohio State. Now it feels like having this coaching staff around him, having some of these players around him that I think have been huge for his confidence, for his development. What are you seeing right now with Aaron Bradshaw?
Yeah, Brian, I think you're right on. Not only is it the confidence in himself, but it's the confidence that others have in him. In particular, Roy Rogers, the big man who played professionally in the NBA for a little bit, but mainly around the world, was a great player at Alabama and has been a terrific coach. And he has given him a lot of credit for what has happened recently in his development. And yes, it's a guy who's a McDonald's All-American, a guy who's been at two big-time programs in Kentucky and Ohio State, and it hasn't really worked out. But it doesn't mean just because it doesn't work out or it takes long that it can't be figured out. And I think the confidence that people have in him. Also, he's not getting into foul trouble for the most part like he was earlier in the year, so he's doing a better job in playing defense without fouling. He's not hesitating when he gets the ball. He's trying to dunk. He's trying to play more physical, which he was avoiding contact, I thought, earlier in the year. So there's a lot of reasons why. And I think just recently, I think Scylla next to him gives him a little bit of help as well, because Scylla is a strong rebounder as opposed to a guy like Majak, who's still learning, but I think has a good future. But to have Scylla next to Bradshaw takes away a little bit of that pressure of having to rebound and do all the things you have to do, the dirty work on defense. He's going to rebound Bradshaw, but he could also concentrate a little bit more, and I think it's just been in his head, really, up until now in his entire collegiate career. Has he turned the corner? I certainly hope so. It looks like he may have, and yes, I know he's not playing the caliber of competition he did earlier in the year. I'll be curious to see what he does at Utah State. But I think for all those reasons, Aaron Bradshaw's turned it around.
He definitely has. Looking at tonight's game, I went back and was looking at the first matchup between these two teams, and it kind of made me chuckle a little bit. The leading scorer in the first matchup between Memphis and North Texas was Zach Davis, a guy that has not touched the floor over the last two games. What are you seeing with Zach Davis? I know a lot of people talking about Penny Hardaway shrinking the rotation in that last game. Only 8 guys playing, really only 7 guys that played more than 10 minutes.
For that.
It definitely is. Where does Zach Davis play in this rotation, and does he play in this rotation? What are you seeing with Zach Davis and kind of where what fit he has in this rotation?
I don't think he's a casualty of the cut down in the rotation. Mm-hmm. I personally believe that after the screw up defensively in the final moments against Tulane, where Brumball was able to sidestep Davis, who went for a steal, my theory is that something happened maybe afterwards, and whether it was him and Penny or what have you. This is just my theory, and it kind of put him in the doghouse. I got a feeling that maybe that's been rectified. I don't know this. I haven't heard anything. I would not be surprised if Davis gets minutes tonight. I don't think he's done by any stretch of the imagination unless it was a situation that couldn't be reconciled. Again, there may not have been a situation. This is just me thinking out loud. But when that problem happened where he did what he went away from what he was supposed to do.
Olay.
I sat in the Penny's office at FedEx Forum. And he pulled out his little iPad, and he showed me and Wolo exactly what he was talking about, because a lot of people said, well, just Brumball just blew right by him. He showed me exactly what the play was on defense, what they were trying to do, and what he didn't do. I mean, I couldn't have...
was he told not to do that?
Yes, he was told to do something.
I support
and
the coach 100% then.
Exactly. But, I mean, to have, first of all, for Penny to do that, for me, I love the fact that he did that, and he showcased that. And he wasn't like, let's pile on Zach, but he was saying the narrative is wrong of what happened. Yeah, the narrative has been wrong of what happened in the game. So I just think that maybe that has led to why he hasn't played the last couple of games. Again, my theory, I got a theory about Kennedy. I got a theory about a lot of things. I'm kidding. I think that may be it, but I would not be surprised. I'm not guaranteeing it, but I would not be surprised if Davis gets minutes tonight.
Release the Davis files.
I love a good conspiracy.
There was a second shooter, for goodness sake.
There was a second guy that was supposed to cut off Brumball. Greg, the Tigers should win this league, shouldn't they? Even with this slow start, they're one back in the loss column. They should win it, shouldn't they?
No question, Brett. No question about it. And again, the teams that they're battling, as I mentioned, there's a few more that I didn't mention, but for the most part, South Florida, Tulsa, they're near the top. They get a chance. They're going to play South Florida twice. And look, if they can knock you off, so be it. You tip your cap to them. It won't be happy fans around here, but there's no reason why Memphis should at least, at minimum, split the two with South Florida. Yes, they have to avoid a bad loss, but no question why they shouldn't be able to win this league. Look, I think they are turning the corner. I don't think there's any question in my mind that after all the hoopla that they will still finish as one of the top 2. They will get the automatic trip with the rule change into the semifinals, and they should be in the NCAA tournament by virtue of winning the conference tournament title. It's not a fairy tale. I know they've had their trials and tribulations this year. I think that's reasonable with the way they're playing right now, with the talent they have, that can happen and should happen.
And if that occurred, okay, maybe not the expectations from preseason, and I know his quotes are always thrown back at him about second best team he assembled, but if somehow from this point on, from February 12th on, you end up in the NCAA tournament, all's well that ends well, isn't it?
For the most part, I think, with the way this year has gone, certainly if they came into the year and started out non-conference play and started beating up teams like they did last year, and then they faltered in the first round like they did last year for another, for a second straight year, then I can understand people, again, being upset about what is going on. Like, why are they not making progress? But this year, whether you call it stumbling or just they weren't able to find that cohesiveness of a new team early on, and they get it together and now start rattling off the dubs, and like you said, Brett, win the conference tournament title, get the AQ, get into the NCAA tournament as a high seed, a lot higher seed than it was last year, and lose I don't think there'll be an uproar. So I do agree with that. I don't know if it's all's well that ends well, but I think it's pretty close to that, as opposed to if they don't win this conference tournament title, because, again, they're not getting in as an at-large, what the uproar will be like at the end of the season. It'll be reignited from what it was a couple of weeks ago before they've gone on this run.
Tough arena to go into Saturday night. I know they played at Louisville, but really were never in that game. Saturday, right. This is interesting scheduling. I like it.
They only lost, Utah State's lost one time at home. By the way, do you know who it was to?
I do not.
Has a connection to Memphis in two different ways.
This
year.
I know who it is now.
Josh Pastner and UNLV. How about that? Memphis, of course, losing to UNLV
Did
at
he
home.
hug everybody in Logan?
Oh, that's great. I love that.
He was kissing babies, and no, they won that game. They've had their own struggles, but that's the only loss for Utah State at home.
Is that the worst Tiger loss, UNLV?
This year, is that the worst loss?
Yeah.
No, remind me of the conference losses. I think I'll pick one from the conference.
Well, the Tulane at home.
Tulsa, Wichita, and Tulane at home.
Tulane at home. They should have won that game. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's
even
up there.
Without the fouls released, Tulane at home was bad.
Yeah.
And Brett, the way they lost to UNLV, they were never in that game.
Never.
So you may be right. And
2
UNLV
years in a row, early in the season on a Sunday afternoon. Last year, it was to Hodgson and Arkansas State like that.
That's right.
That's right. But they were able to obviously bounce back.
Sure did.
This year, we'll see. But getting back to Utah State, it is important to play well. If they lose the game, okay, Utah State on paper, and really with what they've done this year is better than Memphis. So I'm sure a lot of people out there still, Tiger fans, will be like, no, it's Memphis. Wherever they go, they got to win the game. Well, certainly they're going to put their best foot forward, you hope, and if they play well, I don't think that derails them from what's remaining. And that, as I said earlier, is a huge game Thursday on the road at South Florida, and then they come back and they'll play the second of the two with UAB. Obviously, they won there by 10. UAB, for whatever reason, plays better on the road, but it'll be a good meeting Sunday the 22nd at FedEx Forum. That'll be their first game after 3 on the road. But that's why I said it's important. Look, you got to win tonight. You have to win tonight. You got to play well. It may be an ugly game because North Texas's offense is not good. Memphis's offense isn't great, but it's been better lately. And they'll try to muck it, and they'll try to make it a slow-down game. That's what North Texas will try to do. As long as Memphis wins the game, takes care of business. If not, Katie bar the door once again tomorrow on Sports Talk Radio on our station. If they win and then they move on to Utah State, play well, come up a little short, fine. South Florida, even though it's a road game, that's pivotal. That's a pivotal game next Thursday if you are to be able to secure one of those top 2 spots. There's a long way to go, but certainly, as we just talked about, it's doable, and really it should be done. For Memphis to finish outside of the top 2, that's an issue. Maybe they don't win the conference tournament or the conference regular season title this year. Okay, as long as they finish in the top 2, basically the same result.
Yeah, no, I definitely think you're right. And yeah, I mean, you mentioned UAB there. I'm going to go ahead and chalk that one up as a loss, seeing as UAB just feels like they're invincible on the road and just lose every game at home. Except they did finally win a home conference game. They beat Rice on Sunday at home, so good for them for at least getting up off the mat in home conference games. Greg, I know Tiger Baseball gets started tomorrow against Toledo, a 3-game series against Toledo. What do you expect this season after last year, another year of missing the conference tournament? What do you expect this year for Tiger Baseball?
Well, Matt Reiser has said it, and if you ask him to his face, he'll say it, got to get to Clearwater. They have to get to Clearwater. They have an improved pitching staff, that is deeper than the first 2 years for Matt. I'm not saying it's this pitching staff that's going to just wow you, but there are guys on that staff that can wow you, have the ability to wow you. So I think the pitching staff is deeper. They went out, used the portal, got some guys who can hit the ball for average and hit the ball for power. Matt Reiser's team will always look for the extra base. They got a formidable schedule. It's not crazy, but certainly some obstacles on that schedule. But no reason why Memphis shouldn't be much improved. It's a tough conference, as we know, for baseball. The American's a tough conference from top to bottom. But the bottom line is Memphis has to get to Clearwater.
Yeah, and I think really cool in their schedule this year, this Grind City Classic here in a couple of weeks. You got Ohio State, Louisiana Tech coming in, having a little bit of a classic format where you've got a couple of games every day, and the Tigers playing both those teams playing each other. That'll be a lot of fun out there at FedEx Field.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm not on any of the calls this weekend. I got women's basketball on Saturday, but I am looking forward to next weekend. I'll be on the call of 2 of the Ohio State games, one with Brightwell and one by myself. So for Memphis to play Ohio State, and again, I don't know how good, I haven't studied yet up on Ohio State, but still, it's Ohio State. It's the Big Ten Conference team that comes in to your home ballpark. Like you said, part of a tournament. I think that's great the way the schedule is that Matt's put together. So I'm looking forward to those games, looking forward to calling those games. Hopefully the weather will cooperate. I know we got a lot of rain in the forecast for this weekend, and hopefully the cold is long gone because there's nothing worse than baseball at 30-degree
I never
weather.
want to see it again, Greg. That's why you moved to the South, isn't it, to get away from it?
That's right.
You hope to, right? But every once in a while, Mother Nature rears her ugly head.
I hated it.
Yeah, no, I need some warm weather, that's for sure. But Greg, as always, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy your weekend. We'll talk to you again next Thursday.
You too, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. Greg Ashton with us every week talking Tigers sports, and to tell you how tough it's got to be in really any conference out there, but especially like in the American. Alabama released yesterday their full 24-25 physical breakdown for athletics. A surplus of $32 million, led by making $64 million in football.
Wow.
Men's basketball made $9 million. That's the only two sports that were in the profit. Women's tennis lost $1 million. Men's tennis lost $1 million. Men's golf, women's golf both lost about 1.3 or 4 or so. All the way down to at Alabama in the SEC, baseball lost $4.4 million.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, you're seeing a lot of stories like that around college athletics. We've seen it, in the last week or so here with Memphis, dropping the revenue dropped by $1 million. That was reported by Jonah Dillon.
The losses at Florida State.
Oh, I mean, it's crazy.
At Rutgers.
Yeah, I mean, I was about to say, it's some big time programs that it's just some big time deficits, and so it's hard to see around college athletics.
But I think the template is everybody in the SEC is making money in baseball.
Yeah,
no, only about 4 or 5 really are.
That's right. Yeah, so it's a weird time for sure in college athletics, and seeing a lot of these numbers are kind of troubling to see because it's not just one place. It's a lot of different places that are seeing these type of income results.
And Stanford goes all the way across the country last night and wins at Chestnut Hill.
Yeah, good for them. And
that could not be cheap.
Yeah,
to fly. Speaking of, I think I can tell this.
Okay.
Where I stay in Oxford, where Alabama stay. I told that yesterday.
Yeah.
How many rooms do you think Alabama needed for the men's basketball official traveling party?
I would say 15, 12.
35.
What, everybody get their own room?
I can remember a time, Tiger basketball, and traveling in very nice style.
Sure.
Might need 15 rooms.
Sure. Yeah.
Because you had roommates.
Sure. I mean, that's
assistant coaches had roommates.
Yeah. I mean, holy cow. That is literally, there is no way to describe it other than everybody has their own room, players, coaches, everybody.
And we have a ton of staff now.
Oh, yeah.
You just can't travel with enough video people.
No.
We got to have video and the video people.
Yep.
And all the get-back coaches in the warm-up tops on the sideline.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. That is unbelievable.
The bench area. Also, I've been waiting all week to get this in, and you almost had it in Oxford last night. Had to stop play. Did you see how Purdue lost when the player slipped where they had the little chairs out for the bench area?
Yeah.
I can fix this in one fell swoop. Stay in the bench area that's out of bounds. And forget the stupid little chairs.
Yeah.
First of all, you have at least 2 rows of buffer behind you in most of these buildings. Nobody's really on top of you anymore. No. Stay in that bench area. Get rid of the little chairs. You don't see that in the NBA.
No, you don't. No, it's all on the bench. It is funny though to see the staffers, and it's almost like a pit crew. I mean, they're standing there ready. They know when those media timeouts are coming.
It is a pit crew
with the chairs, and they sprint out there. They get them all set up, and then hey, we're doing our timeout. So it is definitely something.
But I can fix it.
No, yeah, I mean,
you time out in that bench area.
I agree. I mean, I think it'd be a very easy fix. But we talked with Greg Guest, and we talk with him every single week. And every single week, it's brought to you by Mercedes-Benz Van Center Memphis. They have serious vans for serious work at 4430 American Way. They're the Mid-South source for cargo, passenger, crew vans, and custom chassis. Need one or a full fleet, new or used? Well, they've got it with fleet solutions and custom upfits. Certified techs keep you moving with fast maintenance, repairs, and a large parts inventory. Mercedes-Benz Van Center is your Sprinter van headquarters. Give them a call, 901-237-9302, or online at sprintervans.com. Mercedes-Benz Van Center Memphis, part of the Tag Truck Center family, driven to keep you on the road. Let's get to another break, and when we return, we'll talk about what's trending.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Top Gun is the largest indoor range in the Mid-South, but size isn't their only difference. Top Gun has the best instructors with over 300 years combined experience and classes all the way from first shot to master marksmanship. Plus, Top Gun is affordable. Gold membership is just $48 a month. That's just $1.60 a day for unlimited range time, free gun rentals with purchase of ammo, and members lounge access. Top Gun, 2770 Witten Road and TopGunMemphis.com. Always shoot with the best. Top Gun Memphis.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Hey y'all, it's the Mid-South Sports and Boat Show, February 20th through the 22nd at the Agri Center. Come buy your new boat and make some memories at the lake this summer with family and friends. Premier dealers showcasing the newest ski boats, pontoons, fishing boats with huge show specials. Enter your chance to win daily door prizes. It's all at the Mid-South Sports and Boat Show, February 20th through the 22nd. For more info, go to memphisboatshow.com. That's memphisboatshow.com.
At the Agri Center.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
This traffic report brought to you by City Center Liquor just off Highway 70 in Lakeland. Local, friendly, and always fully stocked. For a 5% discount, tell them Sports 56 sent you.
Sports 56 traffic.
Well, good afternoon. The big story, of course, has been this crash that happened earlier out here on 40 westbound near Canada Road. A truck crashed and spilled its load, and they're trying to clean up all this mess right now. Now we got a lot of rubbernecking going on over in the eastbound lanes for sure, because all that traffic's really heavy pushing out towards Fayette County on 40 east and west now. To sum it up, is slow go over here at Canada Road. Hey, check out the cats and dogs that are available for adoption right now at the Humane Society of Memphis, Shelby County. Check out memphishumane.org. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Brian and Brett with you as we got about 30 minutes left in today's show. And I'm just now seeing this. This was posted a little less than an hour ago on social media. Tony Jones, who I'm not familiar with him, according to his bio, covers the NBA for The Athletic. He tweeted out, the Jazz knew about Jaren Jackson Jr.'s knee previously. They were going to shut him down. Jaren was adamant that he wanted to play at least once at home before the surgery. They set his minutes restriction at 25 minutes. That's one reason he didn't play in the previous fourth quarters, per sources. So, again, we talked about it earlier. This sounds like something that came up when they were doing his physicals and his medicals for the trade, and he was able to talk them into, let me play at least a couple games, let me get in front of the fans and play a home game at least once. Sure, and then we'll shut it down and we'll do the surgery and we'll start looking forward to next season. So,
college baseball odds, interested?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't really looked at them. I'm not.
BetOnline.ag.
Yeah.
Alan Bell thinks there's value out there.
No, definitely.
Especially early.
Yeah.
We'll visit with him tomorrow.
I'll bet a lot of games tomorrow, I'm sure. I'm just not a huge futures guy in general, and certainly not a big futures guy when it comes to college baseball, but I'm curious about them. Sure.
I honestly didn't know that Boston College had a baseball team.
They do.
I don't know why I would have thought they didn't, but I didn't know they did.
Yeah.
They're last in the ACC. In the American, the Tigers are picked last 50-1. In the SEC, Arkansas, Omaha Hawks, 3-1, LSU 4-1, Tennessee 6-1, Texas, Georgia 7-1, both 7-1, 7-1, Mississippi State 10-1, Vandy 12-1, Auburn 18-1, A&M, Kentucky, Florida all 20-1. Ole Miss 22-1.
Wow.
Bama 25-1, Oklahoma 28-1, South Carolina 50-1. And Mizzou 100-1. College World Series. So Ole Miss is 22-1 to win the SEC. They're 40-1 to win it all.
Wow. All right.
That's real new math, isn't it?
Yeah, that is. I don't know. I don't know what to make of that, but it doesn't compute to me.
LSU not the favorite in the SEC, but the favorite to win it all at 7-1.
Interesting.
Yeah. Arkansas 11-1.
Well, I mean, I think
we know the trouble of Omaha.
I think that explains itself.
Mississippi State 14-1 to win it all.
Wow, and they've got a new coach down there, so
all in baseball.
They are. They definitely are. So definitely curious to see that. I'm excited. Games get started tomorrow. Season kicks off.
Weather looks pretty friendly for tomorrow.
Sure.
Saturday, you may need a boat.
It's going to be a mess. But, tomorrow looks good, and excited to see a lot of these games and certainly see what the Tigers look like and see what some of these SEC teams look like. Should be fun tomorrow. I don't know how much I'll watch over the weekend. Like on Saturday, I probably won't watch much. But tomorrow I'll watch a lot.
But no college baseball wagering for you?
Oh, no. I just no futures.
I see.
Brett, I will bet probably 7 games tomorrow.
We'll get Alan's picks. He loves that time of year.
I love getting picks from Alan. Alan's really, really good with college baseball. So definitely looking forward to that.
The props in college baseball, it's been the one that's had the most controversy around it.
Yeah, and it's really not as much props because really not a lot of props accessible.
None in Tennessee.
But no, and really, I don't think many available many places. But it's really, college baseball is one of those games. If you got good insight on starting pitching or something like that,
side and total.
That is side and total.
Namely total.
Yeah, with Alabama, that's what it was. It was a lot on the side and totals for them to lose whatever game, whoever they're playing that game, maybe LSU. It's. I've learned kind of watching and gambling the last couple of years, college baseball is the easiest to kind of manipulate and figure out, and it does not surprise me when you see college baseball scandals.
And I guarantee you, Alan will warn us or be concerned about tomorrow. A lot of times that over, it gets hit, but the game is called.
That's right. Yeah. No,
Do you win then?
No, you don't. A lot of times that's voided. I don't know.
Not good.
No, it's not. I don't know exactly what the rules are for all of that, but it might be total. It's weird because it's either total, and I think books vary, but it's something like total counts, but if you do a spread, that doesn't count, or vice versa. I mean, it's weird, but totals are the one where you can get a game called early, and a lot of books, they end up just voiding it. So, these early games, they get weird for sure. So yeah, we'll be watching that tomorrow. That'll be a lot of fun. But we'll be watching tonight a lot of Tigers tonight, 8 o'clock on ESPN against North Texas. Back-to-back wins, and you go into tonight, get a win, make it 3 in a row, and then I think you start to build that confidence.
Get to a lusty 2 over 500, looking for 3 Saturday.
Oh boy,
would feel a lot better.
No, you'd feel better for sure. It's hard to believe, and I was looking at this while we were talking with Greg. Only 3 more home games for the Tigers this season. Happens fast. That is insane. Obviously, a lot of road games with this Utah State game and the way the conference slate is set up, but. Only 3 more times inside FedEx Forum. That's hard to believe. Tigers got to be a lot better on the road than they've been for a majority of the season if they are going to make a run to win the conference.
The days are long, the years are short.
They sure are. I was shocked when I saw that with Greg. But hopefully tonight, Greg was talking about this is a North.
We all feel good about our group lock?
No.
I do.
I really don't feel that bad.
Teams won 2 games on the road this season.
Yeah.
Hey, I hope they win. Like
throwing facts out on
Sure, I mean, like
I'm throwing feelings out.
They've played well the last 2 games.
Brett. Feelings.
They've played well the last 2 games, but I think they're going to win. I think they're going to cover. That's why I picked it. But I just don't trust this team yet.
And you lead in picks.
Yeah, well,
but all important cash.
That's right. You lead. You gotta.
And I'm just here having fun.
You're just here for the vibes, I guess. But no, I think.
But you did learn the definition of NFL and college football lock.
I very much know what a lock is.
In that Rookie of the Year.
Well, you got to learn.
Rookie of the Year is now officially over.
You got to learn a little better because you weren't very good in the lock.
Well, sophomore year.
I don't know how much you really learned this year.
Well, actually, sophomore year is where you take a sophomore slump.
For picks.
Comeback player of the year.
Yeah,
wow.
Comeback picker of the year.
Thank you for giving me that, Brett. I'll use it.
Yeah, you just gave him more ammo. I don't know if I like that, but I think a really good opportunity for the Tigers to get a road win tonight, and I don't know.
We'll be watching and we'll be talking about it. Greg's right though. If it's a loss, we know know the recrimination.
Sure, and I mean, how does it look tonight? I think a lot of questions still with this team, but they have won 3 of the last 4. They've won 2 games in a row, starting to look better, and that conference is certainly for the taking. And I think they're right there to take it. Now, what does that mean?
And this is rare for the Grizzlies and the Tigers both to be scuffling.
Yeah.
Usually it's one or the other. It's not been many times both were elite.
That's right.
But it's been few times both have been having the trouble they're having.
Yeah, and they're both really, and that's what kind of pauses me. I know we've talked about it, and you asked Greg about that. I've got to see how this last month plays out before I can really say if Memphis goes out there and wins the conference that all's well and it's fine, because I mean it hasn't been pretty for a large part of the season.
But if they win that automatic bid, that is first step to all's well ends well.
It's a step, but I mean I don't know if we say the season's a success just because Memphis got to the NCAA tournament by winning the American, when every single day we come in here and say this is a bad conference. I mean, good. That's what you're supposed to do. Like you said earlier. Yeah, let's not change the goals. I mean, the goals are the same.
Yeah, too much of lowering the expectations.
Yeah, and so I hope we don't do that. Now it'd be great, and I think everyone should be excited if they make it out of that. But we'll see what it looks like, and I think tonight. Again, you've only won 2 games on the road this season. If you can go out there and really dominate North Texas like you did in that game against UAB, like you did in that game against Charlotte, get a double-digit win on the road tonight against North Texas, then yeah, you're starting to feel a lot better, and you're really starting to see a lot of improvement. We talked about Aaron Bradshaw, how he's really turned it around. He's been a lot of fun to watch over this last month, and the same could not be said at the start of the season for him.
Win or lose, we will be talking at 5 o'clock tomorrow. We will be joined by Jason Munns from the Commercial Appeal, the beat writer on all things Tigers basketball. He's with us every Friday, presented by Jim's Place Grill. Over 100 years of charcoal grill steaks, over 100 years of celebrations, family time, and lasting great memories. And for the Valentine dinner people this weekend, what a special place to celebrate the Terrace family with their touch for our community with recipes that date back to the beginning in downtown to now in Collierville at the railroad tracks at Poplar and Houston Levee. Online at jimsplacegrill.com. You want that gift certificate instead of going out this weekend? You can do that. Don't forget the Ian Grill. Every steak grilled perfectly over an open flame. Come to Jim's Place and taste and see and feel the difference. Lunch hours Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Dinner hours Monday through Saturday, 5 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. That includes Saturday night for Valentine's. Since 1921, a Memphis landmark, a staple, hard work, values, and a dedication to their diners. The Terrace family, they've created that memorable dining experience. The lunch menu, the staples like the souffle ma, the shrimp cocktail, crab cakes, and those salad dressings, all homemade at dinner. The soups, the calamari, the seafood, and the steaks, ribeyes, fillets, and strips. Going strong right now, watching the Olympics at Jim's Place. Tiger basketball will be on tonight in that great bar area at Jim's Place Grill in Collierville.
So we've mentioned a couple of times the Trinidad Chambliss hearing today. Supposedly, the judge is back and has been back and is currently reading and has been doing so for 40 minutes. And just about 5 minutes ago said still has 4 more pages to read. But
I get a text from a good friend of mine that says Trinidad wins.
Okay, good. Maybe,
I'll take it.
Maybe it's
get those brackets ready tomorrow if he does.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I saw 40 minutes ago that it was looking good, but that the judge was still doing his thing, and that was 40 minutes ago.
Look, if he wants to stay in the state of Mississippi, I know the decision in Calhoun County.
I think we all saw that one coming. So we'll see what it means for Trinidad Chambliss. And
that was a home court better than Cameron Indoor.
You're no kidding. I mean, talk about home courts. What Alabama and Ole Miss have
Take
had
that
in the
Super
courtroom.
Pit.
Yeah, no, the Super Pit. You don't walk into the Super Pit. Don't forget. You don't walk into the Super Pit.
Don't walk into Pittsburgh, Mississippi, and Calhoun County.
No. Yeah, no. That judge would not be able to show his face for the next couple of years if that was the case. But
that's him in the Grove. That's him right there.
Shows up for an Ole Miss game and the public enemy #1. But let's go ahead and get to our final break of the day. When we return, we'll wrap up today's show with Moe's Crunch Time.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
This Valentine's Day, skip the expected and give something that truly lasts. Time to slow down, recharge, and feel cared for. A Gold Salon Spa gift card is effortless, thoughtful, and always the right choice. Opening the door to calm moments, confidence-boosting care, and everyday luxury that goes well beyond February 14th. Because the most meaningful gifts aren't things. They're how you make someone feel. Gould's gift cards are available online or in store. Gould's, a legacy of style, care, and community since 1932.
Hi, this is Troy Five-Ash, owner of Five-Ash Roofing. Did you know there are so many roofing companies in Memphis that I don't even know them all? So that begs the question, which one should you choose? So I thought I'd give you a little background about me. My grandfather was a World War II Marine. My father worked for the University of Memphis for nearly 30 years. My mother, a pianist at Raleigh Baptist Church. Seems like forever. I went to Brownsville Road, Craigmont, and Bartlett High School, class of 81. We support the local school systems, youth athletics, and believe in what St. Jude and Le Bonheur stand for. I'm a Tiger and Grizz fan. The point? Memphis is my home. Five-Ash Roofing will be around if you ever have a problem with the service we provide. Five-Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical, with deep local ties in our community. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Maria's Cantina in South Haven is not your average Tex-Mex joint because they're serving up Mexican with a twist. Maria's Scratch Kitchen is the most creative and diverse menu around. Beyond the traditional huge quesadillas, chimichangas, and fajitas, Maria serves up hand-rolled Latin egg rolls, Cajun and Creole items like catfish, gumbo, and boudin balls, as well as the best sandwiches and 8-ounce burgers in town. Wash it all down with a house margarita for only $5.50 and happy hour every day till 6. MariasCantina.com, 6717 Airways, Mexican with a twist.
I can't tell you the number of times I've heard people tell me that they wanted to wait until spring to put their home on the market. This is Sheldon Rosengarten at Marks Bensdorf Realtors, and think about it. In March, April, when the azaleas bloom, so do the real estate signs. More competition. We've been in an unusual market in the last year, and to get an edge on other homes on the market, make sure and talk to 2 to 3 real estate brokers and make sure that I am one of them. I've developed a highly successful strategic marketing program that can mean the difference in what you make and when. From the preparation before you go on the market to the presentation and keeping you informed every step of the way, it's rare that we cannot provide results. That's why people often say, when you want the job done, call Shell Done at 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com. Write it down or call me now, memphisrelocate.com or 483-0546.
Napa Cafe celebrates 28 years in 2026.
Hi, I'm Glenda Hastings, owner of Napa Cafe, and I want to thank you for making us part of your dining experiences. Treat yourself tonight with a delightful dinner. Maybe start with an appetizer like our baked sweet piquilla peppers stuffed with goat cheese and mozzarella, finished with basil pistou, and move on to one of our cozy dishes like the double chocolate stout braised boneless beef short ribs with tonkatsu sauce and creamy mashed potatoes. Or a fresh seafood dish like our pan-roasted ginger-buttered sea bass with cilantro soy vinaigrette. I get hungry just talking about it. Don't forget about dessert, our famous sweet buttermilk pie with brown sugar sauce, or drink your dessert with one of our signature dessert cocktails like the lemon cheesecake martini, lemony, icy, frothy, and dusted with graham cracker crumbs. Napa Cafe, open Wednesday through Saturday for dinner starting at 5 o'clock. For reservations, visit our website at napacafe.com. We can't wait to serve you.
Come join in and celebrate 28 years of Napa Cafe in 2026. I don't know.
What are you guys doing?
Nothing.
Gaston, are you doing a Central Barbecue spot because you think if you do a Central Barbecue spot for free, then Central Barbecue will give you free Central Barbecue?
Wow. You already got in 3 mentions of Central Barbecue, and the spot hasn't even started.
That's 4.
3.
4. That's not how it works, Gaston, you Central Barbecue mooch.
That's 5.
Get out.
Hey, I just love Central Barbecue.
You have anything to say for yourself?
Central Barbecue?
So, can I get some free Central Barbecue?
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys, Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Incorporated, Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Crunch Time is brought to you by Moe's Southwest Grill. Need a crunchy bite to eat? Head to Moe's for nachos, crunch wraps, tacos, salads, and more. Moe's.com is your go-to for all your taco crunch time emergencies.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
This is pretty cool, and we're just getting started.
Spanning the globe.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy! This game has always been called the world's greatest cocktail party. Do you know what is going to happen here tonight?
This is for all the biggest crunch time.
You are looking live. In your life have you seen anything like that?
Crunch time between the hedges.
The ball game is over, and Memphis has its first win in 16 tries. Its first win ever against its fierce in-state rival Tennessee.
It's obviously crunch time.
Hammer, nail, coffin. This baby is over.
Crunch Time is brought to you by Moe's Southwest Grill. Need a crunchy bite to eat? Head to Moe's for nachos, crunch wraps, tacos, salads, and more. Moe's.com is your go-to for all your taco crunch time emergencies. Well, Brett, what I learned today, really a couple things, but it has to do with the Olympics. The Olympics men's hockey team, they made it look easy against Latvia, a 5-1 win. A 5-1 win that could have very easily been a 7-1, 8-1 win. A dominating performance by Team USA over Latvia. But I also saw this story, and we talk about all the kind of hard and woody stories that have been coming out over the last week at the Winter Olympic Games. How about this one?
Content galore for John.
A Slavic fugitive wanted for 16 years by the Italian police was arrested in Milan, where he had come to cheer on his national ice hockey team in the Winter Olympics.
You think he's just going to merge in? Nobody noticed him?
Well, and that's did he forget that he was a wanted felon? and just was like, oh man,
all's good at the Olympics.
Sure, like, hey, that's close. We'll head to Italy and just is so excited to go to the Olympics, and then hey, you're in cuffs. I mean, that is crazy.
He messed around and found out, didn't he?
Hey, I guess so. That is just add it to another wild Olympic story this year.
What I learned today, I always thought my favorite jurisprudence judge of all time was William Rehnquist, maybe Antonin Scalia, but no, now it is Mississippi Judge Robert Whitwell. Full victory for Trinidad. He's going to be on the field next fall for Ole Miss.
Yeah, that we talked about how it was looking like it was going in that direction, and the judge basically said that much, but it was not official. And then right when we went to break, everything got official.
Yeah, that's my house in Far City with the Trinidad flag.
That's right. Yes. That is you. If anybody was confused on why they were seeing that, what I could have done without today, we talked about it very briefly earlier, but the news earlier today that North Carolina star Caleb Wilson is going to be out indefinitely with a broken hand, a fracture in the hand that's going to have him sidelined. And I don't know what this means. I don't know what that timeline looks like depending on the injury, but I mean, we are now in the middle of February, and obviously March Madness right around the corner. I think he is in a lot of danger of missing out. And what does that mean for North Carolina? He has been a massive part of that roster, of that team we talked about earlier. Right now over on Tankathon, he's projected to go number 4. So, what happens over this next month for North Carolina? They could really use him out there, but it looks like they will have to go without him.
I could have done without Nate Oates. He's got one really solid strategy. Make a lot of threes. When Bama makes a lot of threes, they're really good. He got to a Final Four doing that. What about plan B? What about when they don't? What about running just an old-fashioned offensive set? It doesn't look like there's a lot of strategy to let's shoot a lot of threes. That's more hoping than strategy.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say the A plan he had was complaining about Charles Bediako. It feels like he just since then he's really just been.
And the NCAA they invoke Bediako today. That has it's not even close to the Trinidad case.
No, it's very different. I think you can make a lot of arguments in both cases against the player or for the school or for the player, but I don't think they're similar at all. I think it's very much apples to oranges.
Joey Aguiar up next in the court cases.
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw
Two
this.
number 6s, Aguiar and Chandler.
That's true. I don't know if you saw this or heard this, but the NCAA actually didn't even wait around for the judge to return and give out his ruling. They left, and even the judge said that it's a contempt of court.
I know that feeling. I wanted to leave Tuscaloosa one night playing Alabama like that.
That happens at times. So where are you beaming tonight?
Beam me to the Super Pit in Denton, North Texas. They lost at home to Loyola non-conference. That's not good this year. And they lost at home to UAB. Who was the third loss at home?
The third loss at home, you're going to have to give me a second to pull up their schedule. Home loss against UAB, East Carolina, and South Florida.
And Loyola early in the year, wasn't it?
Was it Loyola in the... no, they beat Loyola. The only other loss, and on their website, it calls it a home loss. The only other loss they have anywhere near home was TCU, but that was not in the Super Pit. Inside the Super Pit, they've only lost 3 games this season.
3,905 the attendance for the UAB game. Ooh. Let's don't make the Super Pit into Cameron Indoor.
But hey, there's something about the Super Pit. I mean, they haven't lost any game by more than 4
points. It's right up there with Barnhill now.
That's right. Yeah, no, don't take it for granted. You got to go in there and play your A game. I don't think you need to play your A game, but maybe C+.
We don't do pluses and minuses, O'Brien.
I know. That's what makes it tricky. Beat me to that game as well. 8 o'clock on ESPN. We'll see what this Tigers team has in a road game if they can make it 3 straight wins.
17-5 Hawaii. Go Bows at Bakersfield. They're in all the brackets out there. 3 NBA games. I think more teams are tanking than trying to make the playoffs.
Yeah, it feels like you talk about tanking that Jazz team in action tonight. But that's all the time we have. Enjoy the rest of your night. We'll talk to you again tomorrow afternoon.